The following content contains strong language and may not be suitable for children. This content is primarily for adults as this is a trucking channel and truckers have filthy mouths. Please don't tweak if I say viewer discretion is advised.
Sweet.
What's going on? What's going on? Come on in. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on all post notification. How's everybody doing this afternoon? Come on in. Come on in. So far, we got about 60 people in the chat. 20 likes. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications. Shout out to everybody that's watching this evening. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Hope everybody's start to the week is going good. Shout out to all the moderators in the building. Tonight, we got Entre Mike back, and Kirk has returned. What's going on, guys?
What's up, man? What's up?
Man, chilling. That was an interesting week you had, Entre Mike, after that episode that you came on last week, huh?
Yeah, we probably had 5 live streams after that, and I popped in on every single one of them. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Costa. Shout out to Be Great. See y'all dropping my name. What's good? But yeah, that was unexpected. I ain't gonna lie, especially that Discord the night of. I believe we were up till about 3 a.m. Eastern. So make sure y'all tap into his Discord if y'all want to, see more, personal one-on-one, conversation type style. It was different. I wouldn't say I do that every night, but that was different. Something different.
Yeah,
we had Midwest, we had Kirk make their own live, so yeah, that was a lot.
It all started from your
Hey
video.
man, how come I'm not in the Discord, man? Y'all don't want me in the Discord?
You didn't join. You didn't.
I gotta. You gonna put me in the VIP section?
You just don't pop in the Discord just automatically. You gotta join.
You gotta join it.
I mean, if you come in, we'll
what I gotta join for? I'm not what
preferential
who give the approval and what's the process? Like, why I gotta go through a process? I don't want to go through.
You gotta sign up in order to log in. You gotta sign up. That's on you.
Sign up for what, man? Send me a link, and I should be right in the VIP section.
All right, we'll make sure we send you a link. But yeah, Entre Mike, that all started because of your video.
Fair point. I wouldn't say it started because of it. I think I fed into it and I gave people the attention they wanted. I'll say that. You
brought it back to life. Yeah, for sure. It was dead, but you brought it back
I think it was still a good conversation, though. Still good conversation. Good to have different objective opinions on stuff because there's still people making content to this day on that same topic. And they got a lot to say, but it is what it is.
It all lead back to the person who opened up the discussion, though. So that's why I did it. It's all working in my favor.
Well, but this has been a thing, to be fair, since like 2020. I know we're in different times, but I mean, we weren't the ones who created this propaganda of starting with 5K. Y'all did bring it back to life, but it was something that was in the past. I mean, it was people starting with 3,500 back then, so making clickbait titles like that, and working capital still was nowhere to be found. So
yeah, people get you get to talk about working capital, people they get scared of that word. So I get a lot of flack. This is a guy that he just won't leave me alone. I ain't gonna go into it. It's a guy, he just won't leave me alone about this working capital, but it is what it is. Kirk, man, what's going on with you? I know you got a statement that you need to make.
What's up, man? How you been, man? Enjoy your birthday?
Bless, yeah, man. That's why I'm tired now. We're gonna get through this show, though. We're gonna get through it.
Yeah, man. No, last time I was on the live, I told you a little issue that I had behind the scene, but I say let me just talk to everybody about it. Me and Ricardo get into it, and my mom saw the live, and she didn't like what she see. So, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
She kind of felt a certain type of way. Me and him going back and forth. You know what I mean? Plus, the things that was said. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where you never know who watching, and it's such a coincidence. I'm not going to go into the whole detail of what really happened, but the end of the day, she didn't like what she see, and she said, "Yo, if this what's gonna happen, blah blah blah, just get off the internet." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it was. um, I think I owe Ricardo an apology. And I'm gonna say from a man to a man, he's a cool dude. You know what I mean? I think that he put a lot of time and effort into what he's doing. I think things just turn left. You know what I mean? So I just want to say sorry to him and sorry to the subscribers that was watching that night. You know what I mean? Everybody that was watching. See what I'm saying? But I gotta get at you, Mark. I gotta hold you
Okay.
accountable.
You picked the right Monday to do it. The Monday coming off
No.
a birthday weekend where I'm tired and I ain't got no fight in me. So come on with it. You know when to do it. Come on with it. Come on with it.
No, because here's the thing. The when I say I think we talk about this all the time. This happened all the time. Sometime in the past it happened. Um, if I say no, let it be no, because you kept pressing me and say, "Yo, let Ricardo come up. Ricardo gotta come up." No, you feel like he gotta come up. You see what I'm saying? No, I gotta bring it up because
So
that's
so
what
now
lead
so
to the
now it's
whole.
my fault. It's my fault now.
No,
We're gonna
it's not
take the
your
blame on me.
it's not your fault, but I think, when you don't stop until you get what you want. And it goes back to the even some of the same situation in the past where I said no and then I go back on what I said and then shit just blow up. So I'm just saying, if I say no, just let it be no.
I
Because it
did let it
happened
be
before.
no. I did let it be no until you said yeah. Here's the thing. I can't make
You
you. I never brought
no,
him up as long as you said
you
no.
said
I never brought him up
no,
until you said
no,
yes.
no, because you said he gave you super chat. Now you felt obligated to bring him up.
He been gave the super chat, and you been saying no, and then you said yeah at
Right.
the end. So you could have still
No,
said,
but
"Listen, I don't care if
no,
he gave
but
me
man, listen, man.
I don't care. He could have hand delivered a Lamborghini. If it's no, it's no. I would have said thank you for the Lamborghini. Where the keys at? Where the keys at? And it still would
So
have
so
been
you
no.
ain't
What you talking
so
about?
you ain't go so you ain't go so wait, so you ain't gonna say you play a part into what happened that night, the first season.
No,
You
because
gonna stand on the sideline.
yeah, because here's the thing. If you said no, it's no. I don't care how many times I said it.
Mm.
No, if it's something that I'm firm, you can ask me a gazillion times. It's just like a child when you make a decision with your child, they're gonna sit there and keep asking. Your decision is your decision. I didn't
Mark, this is a
influence your
better question.
decision.
No,
Do you
because
I
do you
just
think
no,
you
asked you. I just asked you a
no.
few times, and then eventually you said yeah. So I don't understand.
But
Mark, do you
I'm gonna bring up another scenario. Remember that girl I
Oh
told you
Lord.
don't bring up the night if she ain't gonna turn the camera on, if she ain't gonna turn the light on, and you still bring her up. But
I
that's
I
besides
I,
the
I
point.
take
I'm
it. No,
just
no, I
saying.
was bogus for that one. That one I was wrong for because I
You
that
bogus for the one last week, and you bogus for the other
no
one too
no
with
no
Ricardo.
no 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 no.
Yeah, all right.
I ain't bogus for that
You always say you want people to hold you accountable. Now we holding you accountable.
one. And I let you hold me accountable for the chick. I was wrong for that one. I shouldn't have did that one. But this
All right.
one, you could that I asked you. 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 You could have kept saying no,
You
no,
see what
no,
happened?
no,
You see
no,
what
no,
happened
no.
when
I didn't bring him up. I didn't bring him up in the midst of you saying no. I asked your permission, and you said
Mhm.
yes. You know what I'm
I mean,
saying?
it's all good though. It's all good. But I just wanted to clear that up. Um, and like I said, that content, the reason why, the reason why I didn't want that to happen was because the Wiseman is not known for that. You know what I mean? It's not that type of content. So that was another thing. And I
Mm.
even mentioned it to you. Like, this show is not that type of show where, you know what I mean? But it's all good, man. Again, for all the people who never wasn't here, I apologize to the people for that Monday, and I apologize to everybody, and apologize to Ricardo. So it is what it is. All right.
All right, all right. So that squash you back. Everything is Gucci, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, all right, all right. So you already get into these topics.
Let's do it.
All
Yeah,
right,
let's do it, man.
all right. First topic, and this is a question that everybody wants to know. A lot of the new entrants. It's tax season, so it's a lot of new money coming into the space. Is now a good time to get into the box truck business? Who want to start with that topic?
I'll say a little bit. I guess with any business, you got to ask yourself: do you want to start on a downward trend or upward trend? Because we know right now it's harder to secure freight. With being a new authority, it's not a lot of contract type work like Amazon Relay, where you can come in and sign up when you get active insurance. You got to wait 180 days. A lot of the freight brokers are pushing back their freight requirements to 90 to 180 days. So it's hard to get freight when starting off. So that's kind of like the cons for it. But
Mm-hmm.
do you want to start in the midst of like an epidemic where everything is on a straight line up? Because at some point it's still going to, fall off and settle down. So I feel like if you can survive and start in these times, you'll
Mm-hmm.
be really well when, the upwards trend come back, basically.
I agree. I think now is actually from a cost perspective, not
Yeah.
$5,000, not 5,000,
Here we go.
but
Can I
from
say something too?
oh, so I was gonna cook. Go ahead, go
Right.
ahead, go ahead.
No. I was going to say that too. Insurance now has came down if you look at it historically compared to the euphoric rates of COVID, and then look at the prices of trucks. Like you could have a 2017 Freightliner during 2021 valued at $80,000-$90,000 with 250,000 miles, whereas that same truck, or let's say a 2018 truck, isn't probably even half of the price, or is right at half the price. So I think it's a better time now when it comes to price evaluation to get into. That's basically what I was saying. My bad.
Yeah, I think it's a
But it is
great
still hard to
time.
get freight.
Yeah, so I think it's a great time from a cost perspective, not a nickel, right? But from a cost of entry, now is a better time if you have the money and you can come in now, and you come in with a business plan, and you come in the right way, and you're able to survive. I think you can do pretty good. So when the market does turn around, you'll be on that upward trajectory with a low cost of entry. I think if you come in when things do start to go up, like any other time, you can compare this market to any other market. Everything is going to rise with it, which can make it a little bit more difficult. Your return on your investment will be higher if you get in now versus if you get in when the market starts to uh, accelerate.
Correct.
So,
Hmm. Yeah, and I agree with both of you guys. Especially now when you start now, you get to know brokers and can build relationship because you're in the first quarter of the year. So now is your time to come out and like get to know people, make a connection, while learning at the same time. Get what I'm saying? Figuring out where you wanna run the truck, how much money you wanna you know, once you start to build that network, how much money you want to target every month, every week, so that way you can be out here for a longer period of time rather than just popping up just to make a few dollars and then disappear a year or two after. So yeah, definitely. Me personally though, if I were supposed to start a trucking company right now, without what I got, um, one of the first thing I would do, and this is what most people, I always tell people all the time is just take the time and do the proper research. Um, there's always going to be freight out here. It's not a rush. Freight is not going to be disappear tomorrow. There's always going to be loads on the board. There's always going to be load to be covered. You never look at the load board and there's like one load left on the board at the end of the day. There's always freight on any platform. So that's That's one thing I would tell people. Just take your time, do your research, get the right truck, get the right pallet jack, get all the right equipment. So when you come out here, you're not stumbling around to figure out what you need. Another thing I would tell people is minimize the social media. Even though now is a good time, minimize the social media for information, um, because you don't want to feed yourself with too much information, because then you start to ask yourself a bunch of different questions. You see what I'm saying? So if you find somebody good, or either one or two person, then stick to them and then grow from there. You see what I'm saying? Same thing with brokers. If you find, if you come out here up and running the truck, making some money, at least if you get a broker, to build a relationship with those brokers, rather than just drop that load and then move to the next one. Ask him, hey man, uh, how often do you come out of Pennsylvania, or how often do you pick up here, or often do you, what other lanes you have? You get what I'm saying? Those type of things are going to help you to be out here longer and make you run a more profitable and stronger business, rather than you just coming out here and just bouncing around. I beat to my people all the time, you know, create a radius. You know what I mean? Um, Stay away from North Dakota, South Dakota, Arizona. Don't pass Colorado. Especially in the box truck. You want to create a radius, so when you come out here, you are in areas where you can get a reload, or you can drop, reset, and then get the load to move to the next state. You know what I mean? So understand the radius. You know what I mean? And because all of that too save you money when you have a good radius. Gas,
Yeah.
time, toll, all of that stuff. I told people all the time, if you're coming from Atlanta, I know it sounds crazy, but I don't drive an 85 catch 95 to come through. If I'm coming from Atlanta to Pennsylvania or Jersey, I drive out to Chattanooga and I take 81 all the way up. Why? Because all of that toll from Virginia all the way into Jersey in a box truck gonna run you about $300-400. So
Hmm.
if you run you see what I'm saying? So if you cut across, yes, it gonna cost you an extra hour and a half, but guess what? That gonna save you $200-300 based on the weight in the truck. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta understand where you're going and what you're doing. So yeah,
Yeah, that's a good
definitely.
point. Dang, I forgot what I was finna say. I was finna say something, but I didn't want to cut you off. Now that's good information. You got anything, Mark, so I can regather my thoughts?
Nah, I'm gonna let y'all lead, man.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Like I said, it is still harder to secure freight. I don't want to. That's what I wanted to touch on. I don't want people to FOMO into the industry, right? Fear of missing out, because like you said, it's always going to be here. And if you're getting your tax season money and you feel like now it's the perfect or the only time to get in, that's when you'll usually make mistakes. You'll rush the process. You won't get the proper consultant, like Kirk said, and figure out how to do it the right way. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't, even though prices are lower, the prices aren't cheap. It's still fairly expensive to run the business. So make sure you're doing the proper research. He did say stay within a couple of people. I would kind of disagree and say research outside of just a couple of creators. Just make sure you're researching people who actually care about the content that they're creating. And it's pretty obvious. It's a pretty big fine line between guys who are creating content to help and creating content to make a profit. But I know we're gonna dive into stuff like that probably in the second topic. So I
Yeah,
won't go too
but
deep
but
into it.
but but real quick, you said because he said two or three, and you said you should go more. I think he says two or three because, like someone said in the chat, I guess information overload. But
Overload. Yeah.
what's your difference of opinion? Go a little bit further into why you think a person should veer
I
into
would I
more
would say mainly just to
people.
hear other people's point of view. If two or three point of views is enough for you, that's fine. But I'm just the type. Even when I was researching, I wasn't just researching just a specific lane I was doing. I wouldn't want to just hear how trucking was for somebody doing Amazon Relay or somebody doing curbside, somebody doing household good moving, somebody doing OTR,
Hmm.
somebody doing partial like Kirk. I want to see how the flatbed hot shots are. I want to see trucking with Tay. I want to see what Asian Ma is saying about the freight rates. I would just overall look at the trucking industry as a whole, because regardless, a lot of those tender rejection loads that are going for truckloads falls off into LTL. So if they're not having a good time in this industry, we won't either as a LTL freight carrier. So that's kind of my perspective. Just
Not
overall
not
research
not
trucking.
necessarily. No, not necessarily, because I can research a lot of people, but when I come out here, it's like YouTube. You gotta find a niche. I do
Yeah.
partial, for instance. So you might see a guy on YouTube, and I talk about this a lot, that says that a new box truck driver, you should at least get $3 a mile. Now, is he right? This is the market for $3 a mile. Can you obtain $3 a mile with a one pick, one drop? You see what I'm saying? So gather
Yeah.
the information to come out here is one thing, but what you also got to understand, some of these people take the things that some creators say word for word. They actually believe this like it's the Bible. You see what I'm saying? So and this is where, everybody's not going to do partial, but what I'm saying is that if you understand your cost per mile, which is the biggest thing that you need to know to come out here, one, you
Yeah.
understand your cost per mile. Then once you understand your cost per mile, you're supposed to know where you need to be every week, every month, and how much you're trying to get a year. You see what I'm saying?
Can I
So
say something
I
on that,
can
Kurt?
sit back.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when researching into the space, do you think somebody just researching a couple of months, couple of weeks is gonna know which lane they want to take, or they should research all the pitfalls of being somebody like Final Mile, like Mark, or somebody who did, let's say, hot shot trucking like me or box trucking? Because I know guys who are still in between on equipment. Like, hey, I don't know if I want to do box trucking, cargo van,
Hmm.
semi. So I guess I was speaking on that type of concept rather than you say I'm gonna do Amazon relay because I see X, Y, and Z doing it. Then yeah, if you're gonna niche down and say I want to do partials like Kirk, maybe only watch people who do really well with partial and freight. So I can agree with
Not,
you on
not
that point.
no,
But
no, not necessarily, because it's always good to know other aspect and other feel of trucking or whatever you're gonna
yeah,
come and do. What I'm saying is that when an individual decide that they're gonna come and do trucking, quickly you're
yeah,
gonna know exactly what route you want to do by just looking at certain creators. So take for instance, a lot of people like the idea of partial, but they don't want to do it because there's so many upwards of work come with it. And then you
yeah,
got to deal with the routing. Some people not good at managing their time. You got 10.5 hours to drive. Some people will go to a shipper. Like me, I know if I go to a shipper, I only give them 2 hours of my time waiting. Otherwise, I'm out of there. But some people gonna go there and sit for 5, 6 hours. You get what I'm saying? And still don't get the freight. So if you're talking about a new guy coming out here, once you narrow down what part of trucking you want to do, where you want to go, I think it's best to just stick to a certain part of that area in trucking, because once you start to go all over the place, this is why some guys can't make a decision on the equipment, because
I like
they
that.
see flatbed, but then they see the money, and then they see box truck, but then they see that money, they like it, they get to stay home closer. But then flatbed, hot shot, the money is the same as flatbed and box truck, but then you might have to spread out a little bit. You get what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah,
it
yeah,
to each his own. But at the end of the day, as a business owner and a person that's coming out here, you supposed to know what you're capable of doing and what you're willing to doing. All of this boils down to what you're willing to doing. Trucking is
okay.
about what you're willing to doing, what you're willing to do, and how far you're willing to go to make that money. You get what I'm saying? Some people are not, they're not equipped like that. They're not mentally, they're not
How
physically, and they're not
can I ask you something?
emotionally. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. How long do you think it took you to find your niche? Because let's say somebody's been doing it for 6 months to a year, doing a partial, and they figure, this is too much work. I'm out 3 to 4, 3 weeks out of the month. What if I want to niche down into something that's more
Hmm.
local or regional? Do you say then they start watching more niche content on something like what Mark does with Final Mile or Gig Apps, or should they already be researching that before starting? That way they can kind of know, okay, these are all of my options before entering. Or do you just say they need to pick one and go with it and just learn it
Eh,
full throttle?
I think they should research everything before they pick.
Uh,
That's kind of how I feel too.
I think they should research everything before they pick, and then come up with an option, and then go out in the
Exactly.
field and go from there. And then if that doesn't work out, because they've researched everything initially, the first one doesn't work out, they already know what the second option is, and they can transition into there. So what you had happen when the pandemic was coming to an end, everybody started frantic and they didn't know
Mhm.
what to do. And then that's when everybody came back to the drawing board, started researching. I think we had that conversation the other day. I think I had it with you when we were talking about content and how certain content is boring and how you got to do an
Yep.
edge. And when I was doing those PowerPoints 2 years ago, that wouldn't work now. It
Yeah.
would be too
But you got
boring.
to
You
think
know
I've
what?
been doing PowerPoints from the
Okay.
beginning. It's just a
But
habit.
but here's the thing. That was a great time to do those PowerPoints because all the stuff that people should have did initially when they started their business, they were scrambling to do that stuff then. So then they wanted the education latter half of 2022. They would sit there do all those boring PowerPoint presentation because they was trying to figure it out because they was on their way out and they wanted to do that then. Would it work now? You're gonna have some viewers, but it ain't gonna be, it's not gonna be like
Yeah. You
what
got to
you
do
get
something
if you at
retained
that
for.
level. Right, you got to do something to
Yeah.
retain. Like people ain't sitting through a PowerPoint presentation in 2025 like they would sit in November of 2022. It just ain't
Fair.
happening.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's a fair point,
Yeah,
and I dislike that part of the industry now because I like self educating and bringing new information to people, but I've realized, especially coming here, what gains people attention a little more than just information, right?
yeah,
They just want
and
to.
also
Oh, go ahead.
and
My bad.
also you gotta look at the time now. People want to make money more quicker, so people are looking at content that is going to give them the less work but make the same, make, for instance, a guy that go OTR. You see what I'm saying? So there's people that do Amazon in the
what you
nights,
mean?
and then they might run the gig apps in the day to try to make that $5,000 as a guy that go OTR, maybe doing one pick, one drop, maybe do 3-4 loads a week, make 5-6 thousand. So it just all depends on where people want to go. You see what I'm saying? I got a guy from Irvington that does Amazon, and he mix it with the app. So you got
Yeah,
people do that. You got people that got endorsement on the license, like asthma. You got people that have all different type of stuff, know, that they can take that give them that extra money. You see what I'm saying? So it just all depends.
yeah. No, that's a good point. I wish we could talk more about like tractor trailer and how they have more options because I got some guys who will have a reefer, flatbed, step deck. Like they don't just have one trailer, so they kind of move with the seasons and change their coverages based on that. Versus with a straight truck, it's a straight truck. You know what I mean? It's only so many options. Not to limit a straight truck and say you can't do a lot, especially if you got a lift gate and you can do assisted freight, final miles, and things of that nature. But a lot of these guys getting in, I feel like want to do more dock to dock, B2B, one pick, one drop type of loads. I don't think they're looking to overwork themselves at this point. That's just kind of my
Right.
opinion.
Right. And even guys who do like gig apps, I mean, they work off the apps that, they got to do different things. They're good money. I don't use them, but I've heard of people getting $500-$600 just to pick up a few boxes.
That's
Mm.
coming to an end.
You see,
That's coming to an
you see
end.
what I'm saying?
That's coming to
So,
an end.
Mark,
That's
did you
coming
mess
to
up
an
the
you
end.
know,
game?
Did I mess up what?
Did you mess up the game putting out the game? Why it coming to an end?
I well, I've been telling people it wasn't going to last, but I got something special lined up for the gig apps. We're gonna hold off on that. It's coming to an end because it is I, it's business. I
Yeah,
don't understand why people thought that they was gonna
hmm
make it's if I introduce a gig app and I introduce it to a consumer, all right, and I need service providers to provide that service to the consumer, what do? In order for me to sell it to the consumer, I got to sell them a product at a low price, right? Make it convenient, sell them on the convenience and a low price. But I also got to sell it to the service providers to get people on the platform. What's a good way to get the service providers on the platform to meet the demand? Pay them a high price. We dealing with VC money. This is what the VC money is for. Once we crush the competition, acquire all the competition, and people get accustomed to utilizing it, now what? We got to make money. All right, so we're going to raise the price for the consumer. We're going to lower the price for the service provider. Like it wasn't going to, the best model for the gig economy is Uber and Lyft rideshare.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So any gig, platform that's new, it's gonna do the same thing that every gig platform before it did. It's gonna pay the service provider a high price. It's gonna sell convenience to the consumer at a low price. Once we get everybody on board, we kill our competition or we acquire our competition. Now we got a profit. We raise our price for the consumer because now they're accustomed to using it. Now it's become a daily part of their life, right? And we lower the price for the service provider, right? Because we've already conditioned them into thinking that this is the way to go. Look how many people done quit their jobs to become full-time, I call them giggers, become full-time giggers, and now they're complaining about, hold on, listen, this is where, see, I know how to make it. See, this is where somebody gonna get mad at me and they're gonna make content that's gonna lead back to me. I do this purposely. I call them full-time giggers, and now they get mad because they didn't understand business and they thought that those high rates to do easy work was just gonna last forever. No, the gig app needs to profit because we got to pay the VCs. We got to pay the angel investors back. And ultimately, we want to eventually go public. We want to be a public company. And then our main, commitment is going to be to the shareholders. So those are for those people that quit their jobs, got into the gig economy thinking that they was going to get paid an arm and a leg forever to do minimal work. And now that the tide has turned, everybody's complaining. It's what it is.
Do you think a lot of these giggers out here to make a lot of money, or just for the aspect of freedom from a corporate 9-to-5 type job nowadays?
Oh, I'm gonna say both, but ultimately it's to make money because bills got to get paid.
That's
at the
fair.
End of the day, at the end of the day, I'll shovel shit, bro. If I got to shovel shit to put food on the table, yeah, I'm not gonna like it. But I need food on the table. I need a roof over my head. You dig what I'm saying? So I may not like it, but I have to do it because you need revenue coming in to cover your cost of living. You see what I'm saying?
No.
So it is what it is.
So I'm saying, do you think they'll be okay with making that minimum just to get by like they used to? Let's say, because just like getting into trucking, sometimes a lot of guys probably made a lot of money and then it just became enough money to get by. Do you think they'll be okay with that enough money to get by doing gig apps, working for themselves, or going back to the corporate?
No. Gig money is not enough to sustain the cost of living. It's just not. Yeah. At least here is not. You know what I'm saying? So, no.
I will argue here
too. At one point, it was. Like, I remember back in the mid 2010s, people were bragging about $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 in this market a week doing rideshare. You see what I'm saying? I don't think those people are making $4,000 a week in 2025 doing rideshare. Why? Because the supply is high. The supply is high, and they got them stuck doing it. So that's why they call it the trap. They stuck in the trap. They've gotten conditioned to working mentally when they want to work, and they complain about how Uber and Lyft keep screwing them over, but yet and still they keep doing it because mentally they conditioned to being into that work when I want to trap. So they're going to keep doing it. They're going to keep doing it, but they also going to keep complaining too. You see what I'm saying? So no, Uber and Lyft are still not profitable companies since 1 quarter, Q4 of 2023. So they're still chasing profitability. So if they're still chasing profitability, what needs to happen? They either going to continue to go up on the consumer, and they're going to continue to go down on the service provider until they find that sweet spot of profitability. And then that's just what it is. It's business. They're not going to continue to operate at a loss forever. They can't. They got a lot of money. You see what I'm saying? They got a lot of money. They can go another 10 years at a loss. But they're ultimately chasing profitability. That's the goal. And somebody's got to pay for it. It's going to be the consumer, and it's going to be the service provider. Just is what it is. And as they continue to go down, the cost of living is continuing to go up. So the answer is simple.
Yeah, maybe their long-term goal is something like automation, where you got driverless cars, so you don't have to pay for the labor for the worker, and the application is really bringing in most of the money versus somebody having to do the job. They have to pay that overhead. Maybe they got a more long-term goal. You know, I can't really think of how that's going to work. For like an Uber. Yeah, a lot of the gig guys.
But let's look at it from a gig perspective, because this is kind of off topic, but I don't know. We hear now.
Yeah.
From the trucking perspective, like Curie or Freight, all these apps are still no Curie, the app. These apps are new, but guess what? Curie was paying, I guess, decent rates until they weren't, and nobody understood why the rates went from here to here like that. They got enough service providers, right? And guess what? People still taking the stuff. They still taking it. You see what I'm saying? Why are they still taking it? They don't have no choice. People went out there. They got vans. They got trucks. They stuck with these bills now.
So are you saying it's like a bait and switch?
No, it's not a bait and switch. It's business. It's up to the individual to understand. Listen, I open a business. I open a restaurant. No one knows my restaurant exists. I'm in a new neighborhood. I might do a month where you come in, you get a meal. I'm going to give you your fries for free. Or I give you a free burger for a month. Or it's whatever type of marketing. I've already calculated this cost of handing out all this free stuff to get people on board to come in, test the product, test the food, so they can ultimately come back. No one's going to give me a try unless I give them an incentive to give me a try.
Good point.
That incentive is costing me from a business perspective. But I've already calculated that into my cost to launch my business. You see what I'm saying? Ultimately, I'm going to plan on getting a return on investment. Eventually, I'm going to cut that off. I'm not going to give a customer a free product forever, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with your Curie and your roadies and your freights and your dispatch. If we're selling this product to a consumer, a retailer, and then they're pushing it to the consumer, now we got these volume of orders. We have to have service providers on the platform to handle the demand, right? What's a quick way to get people on the platform? Pay them handsomely. Get them over here. I need them. If I'm Curry, I need you off dispatch. I need you off freight. I need you over here, right? I'm going to pay you handsomely. I'm going to try to crush my competition till they fold, or we're going to acquire them. We want you over here. And then once we saturate the market and we get enough service providers to meet the demand, and now we're oversaturated, now that competition is there. We see what's on that platform. Oh, this buddy went out and bought a brand new 2025 T350. Man, he got a note on him. Guess what he gonna do when we drop the rates? What you think he gonna do? He gonna keep working. He gonna complain, but he got that note to pay. Is it their fault? No, it's not their fault. It's business, because the person should know what's going on. This ain't gonna last forever. It's a new company. Eventually, they're gonna lower the pay. But when you're talking to a bunch of people that don't understand business, they don't think about things like that. They go out, they get the equipment, they say Curry paying, freight paying, dispatch paying, until they not.
Yeah.
When the last time you heard about Mothership?
Right.
I ain't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's the same. It's just the same business technique over and over. I think now people are, just now people, once, like you said, the cost that they acquire getting into those type of, business, they don't have no choice. They have to either stay there, take the rate. See, one of the thing with me with the rate, and people said that, I do get a lot of good rate doing partial. You know what I mean? I've get rate that even one pick, one drop don't pay. Um, I think that it's just a lot of different things come with doing partial, where people just, to me, it's a better way to go, because it's you can pick up two load at, let's say your cost per mile is $2. Sometimes you get two load that can pay you 350, $4. Sometimes you can get load that pay 450. So it just all depends on what you want to do and where you want to go. You get what I'm saying? Um, but again, if people are doing Amazon and they're coming out 11 o'clock tonight, which Amazon is another company that does the same thing like what Mark is saying. If Amazon is paying them, let's say they're going to come out tonight and do a load for 700. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning they jump on one of these gig app and they might get one pallet that pay the same 700. You know what
Yeah.
I
I was
mean?
just
So
gonna ask that.
now,
Okay.
Do
Okay.
you guys
Use that
think?
for example. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
mhm,
I was gonna say, do you think Amazon Relay kind of plays into the same
it is the
as
same
those other
thing.
apps?
It's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's the same business model. Amazon
Mhm.
and we, people, they get real sensitive about Amazon.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
only thing I be asking people to do is look at things from a business perspective. Amazon introduced Relay in what 2017, what
Yeah.
2017,
Mhm.
2018, and Amazon's volume was exploding throughout the 2010s, right? It was exploding year over year, right? So look at it from this perspective. Why do you think Amazon Relay had the amount of crashes and fatalities and accidents? Their drivers, when they measured them to UPS and FedEx, like Amazon's, accident rates were just higher by far than everybody else. At a
Probably the
company at that
demand for
scale and
freight.
volume.
Yeah, the demand for freight was probably so high that they lowered the requirements for drivers to come in.
Exactly. Why?
Unqualified drivers.
Because they
Mhm.
needed enough people to meet the demand of the volume that they was pushing out. So they turned a blind eye to things
Mhm.
that they necessarily shouldn't have, because if they would have been more strict on certain policies, they wouldn't have had enough service providers to meet the demand.
Yeah.
Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, and they offering same day delivery. I mean,
Okay.
they gave themselves a
All right.
hard task to meet.
All right. So now when the volume started to come down, what they do? They
They
start
lowered
to
the rate.
implement they start to
Mhm.
implement
Implement the
policies and
policies. Yeah.
rules and things like that that they should have implemented a company of that magnitude years prior. They could have been implemented that.
Yeah, this you talking about the
But
180 days. I ain't gonna lie, I
not
want
not not
1,000.
even not even that, just they started to crack down. They could have been
Yeah,
cracked down. But if they would have cracked down, a lot of the people that when they started to crack down that,
Mhm.
got pushed out would have got pushed out even sooner and a lot more. And that
yeah,
would have ultimately affected Amazon Relays or Amazon's efficiency, right?
mm,
Okay. So when they were going in an upward trend and an upward trajectory, it's all hands on deck. They needed all hands on deck,
yeah,
right? So all hands on deck to the point where they were willing to be laxy daisy
yeah,
purposely,
mm,
purposely. So yes,
yeah,
it's the same thing. Amazon had a long upward trajectory. Like
yeah,
it's probably damn near historical how many years for decades they were going up and to the right. For
yeah,
decades. It took them until 2022 from 95 when they plateaued. How many years is that? They plateaued in 2022.
Yeah.
From 95 to 2022. Right?
Right.
It had to happen eventually. It's just they were going in an upward trajectory for so long. Nobody thought that eventually they would plateau and they would settle somewhere, and then they would obviously have to start cutting costs. And even they thought they were going to continue to rise. That's why they were still building.
Mm.
They ceased construction on a lot of facilities. There's facilities that were finished in 2022 that never opened, that are dormant. There's some here in Chicago, one on 23rd and Halsted. They built it, they finished it, it's never opened. It's been sitting
Now,
there for 3-4 years.
can I say this? Do you think Amazon possibly did that too, so they wouldn't have as much liability than the carriers? And then we got to think about the barrier of entry for box trucks. You can literally start within 30 days if you get all the right documentation, have an active authority at the time, and just get approved within 3 to 5 business days. But do you think that was to kind of push the liability on newer entrants with lack of experience, or because we know they're trying to get trucks out?
The
Oh, go ahead.
liability is still on the entrance.
It's shared
They
though.
well, no. Amazon does everything to indemnify themselves. Up until recently, there has been some judges in some states and some lawsuits that has been siding against Amazon because there's some lawyers that have been proving that Amazon has full control, even though on paper they set it up as if like DSPs are independent contractors, and
Third party.
they are on paper, but they have no say so on nothing. So there are some cases now where judges are awarding plaintiffs with lawsuits and holding Amazon responsible. But initially, they weren't. The liability is still on.
Well, I guess I'm speaking on like liability insurance from the actual owner operator. They're still liable to have to pay out for a claim. That's why they got to pay insurance.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
but we're arguing the amount of carriers they needed at a specific time to meet the demand. You see what I'm saying? So now, trust me, if Amazon was still trending in an upward trajectory, a lot of the stuff they've implemented in the past couple of years, they wouldn't have implemented. They would have continued to turn a blind eye to it. They would have continued to turn a blind eye to it because they have to meet the demand. They have a 99% efficiency rate for on-time delivery.
Mm.
So without enough service providers, how can they meet that demand? If they're turning people away for a lot of shit that they should be turning them away for. But we saw, especially during the pandemic, there were a lot of unprofessional people that ultimately made it bad for the people that were doing good. I was watching one content creator's it was Midwest, one of the videos he did in January where he was driving and he was pulling into an Amazon. It was a truck backed into a dock, and clearly this guy hit a viaduct. The whole corner was split. You could see through the truck from the corner, but yet still it's backed into a dock. So now if he has a pallet pushed all the way up to the front, there's no telling he can get on the highway and the whole thing could fly off. But yet and still he was either there picking up or dropping off.
Yeah, I done seen people with like chained up lift gates. That junk used to look so sketchy. I know that's a little off topic, but no, I can agree with that. I think logistically though, with Amazon's demand always achieving to be like same day, next day type of delivery, especially with Prime, it's always going to be an opportunity for people to come in and make money off of it. The question is how much money? Like, can you make a lot of money with Amazon? Relay probably can be a topic in itself if we look at like the cost of operations, right?
Yeah, it can. It can.
Not really. If you from the I don't do the relay, but I've seen the content pertaining to relay. The Amazon I do is it pays more and there's more leeway. I was talking to Mark about it. I go to the shipper that sell on the platform for Amazon. You see what I'm saying? So I'm the guy that bring it to the fulfillment center. They separate it, then a box truck guy come in and pick it up and take it to wherever it needs to go. That's what I do. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can reschedule my appointment. I can get my appointment pushed back, but mainly I get more money because Amazon. So Amazon is the one that schedule the appointment to pick up from the shipper through the broker. You see what I'm saying? I got a video coming out actually where I'm showing people the stuff that shipped directly from China that sells on the Amazon platform from some of the sellers. It already come with the label and already come separate. Everything is already sorted out. The only thing those guys do is pull it off the container and separate it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it literally come from China, already got the label, it already got everything set up to go to Amazon. You see what I'm saying?
So
Come
you're
out the
saying that,
container.
you're saying that tractor trailer, Amazon relay, like picking up a dry van trailer for Amazon is way more advantageous than a guy doing a box truck with Amazon relay, basically, because y'all are
No,
doing
no,
two different types of shipments.
no, what I'm saying is running on the Amazon platform, which is the relay app, is not as profitable as running outside of Amazon using
You
a
you
broker.
you open up a can of worms that we probably should
I
save
mean,
for
we
another
can we
for
can
another
yeah
day.
we
Yeah,
can
we can
talk
move on.
about it,
That's on
yeah,
me. That's on
but
me.
Yeah,
right,
because
but
the Amazon people gonna want to debate it, and we need an Amazon person here to do that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
that's fine.
I agree.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But I mean, there's two sides to Amazon that a lot of people don't know, and we can set it up and talk about it the next time. But yeah, I mean, it's very interesting.
y'all ready for the next topic?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this should be a hot one. Creating while not active, content creation. This is something that it's okay to some, and it's frowned upon by others. Now, I think this panel, this is a good uh
Mixture.
combination of, yeah, good mixture. So let's start with, because I know Kirk is going to be the most opinionated. Mike, why don't you go ahead and start?
All right. Well, I want to say in my journey, over the past 4 years, I've never focused on scaling. I've always focused on starting and tips to start based on my mistakes. So I don't really see how I could fit in the category of people who shouldn't be making content just because I'm still within the trucking industry selling insurance.
Mhm.
When there are other people doing it, whether it's factoring, brokerage, any other asset of trucking or facet of trucking that pertains to trucking. I guess people can make that argument that I shouldn't be making content, but if I'm not selling them like a course on how to get rich, I really don't see the argument in it if I'm there to help. And if anything, if you're coming to any type of agent or representative, whether that's a consultant, imagine having a consultant who never touched a steering wheel, doesn't have their class A, doesn't know anything about trucking, whereas
Mhm.
I've actually done it before. So it's
Mhm.
easier for me to build rapport with truckers, even if they don't know who I am. Like I still get most of my leads from guys who are just regular truckers. And it's a proven fact at this point now that anybody coming from a trucking background entering another asset of trucking, as far as service based industries, they do well. They do very well, and they honestly they last. So I would love to hear y'all's point of view. Oh shoot, my bad.
I'm gonna let Kirk go in the end because I already know what he going.
Yeah, go ahead, Kirky. Kirk know I'm good people though. I want to hear it.
Hey,
Lay
hey,
it on me.
hey,
Paul, Paul,
the We Be Outside crew is watching.
The
Paul
views
said
jumped
it.
up. Lay it on me.
Paul said it in the chat. As soon as I said the topic, Paul said, "This the trick bag." You already know I'm gonna come up with some topics to get the engagement going. That's the part of content creation. You got to get the engagement going. You need people to like it. You need people not to like it. That's the
Yeah.
trick. I'm giving you the trick. All right, so
Listen, I
so
think
hold on. Let me go first. Let me go first,
all right, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I already know where you're going. Me and you already done, you know, but you say certain things to create that argument. So here's what I'm saying. I think it's ignorant when people say that. Now, from an OG perspective, it's ignorant. And I always use the examples of like a person that's, like a retired cop, superintendent. They start security
Right.
firms. They start security consulting, so on and
Yeah.
so forth. Your information, your knowledge is your knowledge. So you don't necessarily have to be active to pass along your knowledge. I don't know where this ignorant, you're not out here, so you can't talk about it. Like, that's the most ignorant shit. I'm woke now. I'm gonna wake up for this. This is the most ignorant shit that I've ever heard in my life. That's the dumbest shit
Kirk
I have
kill him,
ever
man.
heard in my. That's the dumb.
Oh, man.
That's dumb. That's dumb.
Can I stop?
That's like,
No,
hold on. Let me
hold on.
finish.
Hold
Let me
on a minute.
finish. Wait. So, a coach, a football coach,
Bro,
former
you're
football
comparing
player.
apple.
Hold on.
Mark, you're not an
Let me.
apple, bro.
Are you gonna let me finish? Are
You're
you
not
gonna
an
let me
apple.
finish?
Dog.
You're
A
comparing
basketball.
apple with grapes.
Hold on.
Listen,
Kirk, let him go. Let him go, Kirk.
See, that's why I said let us go first, and then we're gonna just let you go. A basketball coach. A lot of these coaches, basketball, football, they used to play the game. They don't play the game anymore, but they played the game. They know the game, so they can coach. That's the dumbest shit. Like, I've
Can I say
never
this too?
heard. Hold on, why y'all won't let me finish? And I'll let y'all finish.
I'm trying to help.
Cause y'all wanted to say what I'm saying, Mike. But
Here's the thing.
Mike, hold on, Kurt. Mike kind of reserved. Mike really want to let loose. And I told Mike, stop being a nice guy. You want your channel to really grow. You need people not to like you too. That's the trick. You gotta have people like you and don't like you. You have to say
You know why?
what you want to say.
You get so much flack? I'm gonna tell you why get so much flack.
Kurt, you get more flack than everybody, and that's why you don't.
No.
Because you one-sided. You one-sided. Everybody hates you, Kurt. Everybody hates you. Everybody likes Mike, and everybody hates Kurt. No, y'all ain't got no balance. Y'all need both.
Maybe
Mike,
you can get
Mike won't say what he say offline.
Yeah, all right. Maybe we can get a little deeper. I'll be a little bit more. Let's get into it. I'll let Kurt go first.
That's the dumbest shit that I've ever heard in my life. That's just like saying Larry Bird when he coached, Isaiah Thomas when he coached. God damn it. No, let me finish.
No,
that's just like Tyronn Lupe. He a good coach. He won a championship. So you say, you can't coach because you ain't in the game. So you want LeBron to coach and play, basically. LeBron got to coach and play? That's what you telling me.
Basically what he doing.
But they got a coach, bro. This is what I'm saying. You can't take a person experience.
No,
away.
You want to be a coach. You want to be an umpire. You want to be the guy that throw the ball. You want to be this and that. And that's the pushback people give you.
Kurt, answer the question. It ain't about me. Answer the question.
You're going to areas.
Can you create? You making it about me? Answer the question. Creating content while not active. What's your thoughts? And then we can have the debate.
You can create contents while not active. I think the problem that a bunch of y'all get pushback from people, and I'm telling you, is y'all go in areas and talk about subject that are related to things that you're not doing or never done before, and that's the thing that people have an issue with. So let me give you an example. Mark, and we're gonna talk about this. You would like to talk about OTR drivers, but
I don't talk about OTR drivers.
Yes, you do.
I don't. I do that shit too. Hold on. For a year, when you was going back, so I was pissing you off. I don't talk about strategy. I talked about cost per mile. It's a formula, and I pissed you off.
Mark, no, not me. You pissed the people off. You try to get everybody to come and move furniture. You see what I'm saying?
What?
So if you're,
I try to do what? I try to do what?
you shit on OTR and then try to get
When did I
everybody
shit
to
'em?
be a mover.
When did I
You see
That's
shit
what
the
on
I'm
them?
next
saying?
topic, y'all. Let's stay on this one. Let's stay on this one.
When
Should
did I shit
create
on
content
OTR?
creators.
When did I shit on them?
But we gonna talk about it. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna
We're gonna
tell
get
you.
to it.
But go
Listen.
back to what I'm saying.
Okay. Go ahead.
It's fine. It's fine if you create content while not active. I think when a creator start to talk about things and places and areas that they're not doing, and you
Okay.
talk about just things in general that
Like
day-to-day
what?
people are
Tell
doing.
me, you said about the shower. What you got an issue? Because you keep bringing up this
What?
shower shit. Yeah, the dirty showers and what's
Yeah,
your
because
issue?
you say
Come on,
OTR
bro.
drivers, you say OTR drivers, they take a shower in dirty bathrooms
Hey,
and
they
the
got to put
shower
their
is
showers
dirty
on.
and
They got to put their showers
and,
on.
and,
The
and
shower
this
shoes.
okay.
They got
So
to get
so
the
so
shower shoes, Pip.
so that's what I'm saying. If somebody
When did I say this
is
though? I don't remember saying that. But
Not
go
the
ahead.
love truck stop. They pretty clean.
you say more than once on your channel. But listen,
Oh yeah.
if you're
When I'm
saying
trying to
things
when
and
I'm
drivers,
uh-huh.
if you're saying things and you're not active, and drivers who are active out here know the shit is not true what you're talking about, they're gonna say this dude just sit behind a computer all day and just talk shit. And that's the problem that a lot of people have with content creator. And it's not just you, it's just people in general that are talking about stuff that they not actually doing, which I told you that from the get-go, that once you talk about stuff that you're not, that people are gonna compare you with people that are active out here. You see what I'm saying?
Whenever I ever talked about partials.
I'm not saying partial. I'm just saying trucking in general.
I haven't.
When you make
I haven't.
But when you talk about trucking, I'm telling you the reason why some people give you flack is because listen, I'm just explaining to you where some of this is coming from. Not all of it. Some of it.
More people like me than they like you, Kurt. More people like me than they like you.
That's fine. But I'm saying if a guy is watching you, right? Out of all of this space, you're the biggest out of all of us. If a guy watch you and a guy watch other content creator, let's say they're gonna compare you with 5 content creator. Let's say 3 of those guys, let's say 4 of those guys are active, but they watch you and you're the only one that are not active. They're comparing you with those guys. So some of the things you're saying, they're looking at this shit like, dude's not even out here. The hell are you talking about?
And that's another thing.
You see what I'm saying?
Being
So
out
it's
there.
not. So wait.
Hey, Kurt,
wait.
I got my feet.
It's not about being ignorant. It's not about. It's ignorant.
Up on the desk.
It's ignorant. It's ignorant on your. It's ignorant on your part to think that they're being ignorant. But what you have to understand, they're comparing you with active people that are not talking the same way you're talking. That's just how it is. So it's not about you being home. It's just the things that you be saying. That's all it is.
What I say? What I say?
And then you tell a guy one time, F them kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He failed. He didn't listen, and he failed.
Okay,
he listened to. Hold on. He listened to y'all. Hold on. He listened to y'all.
Who's y'all?
Y'all you a part of the OTR. So he fell on your docket. Y'all, because he's an OTR guy. He went out here, he did what was in his best interest. Then when he came over to me, I said, bro, that ain't I said that ain't gonna work. Y'all sold him this dream. And then when he came over to me and I assessed everything that y'all sold him, I said it ain't gonna work. And then he came back and was like, damn, you're right, it didn't work. I should have listened to you.
But why you telling him F them kids?
Because because the competition don't care nothing about them kids. He kept bringing up the kids, and I'm like, bro, you can't half-ass do OTR. Either you're gonna be over the road or you not. You telling me you half-ass want to do it, and then you saying the reason why you half-ass want to do it is because you got kids. The competition don't care nothing about your kids, bro. I don't care.
But you shouldn't tell him F them kids, though.
No. Hold on. Yeah, and that hurt some feelings, and I knew it would. You see what I'm saying? But the truth of the reality is when you're in competition, The next person don't care about the inner workings of your family and what you need to do to provide food. Y'all going after the same thing. Only one person can get it. So if I'm in competition with you for a job, and I understand your family structure and you're doing this to put food on your table, I'm doing it to put food on my plate. I'm not finna think like, well, let him get it because he got kids. Fuck them kids. I need that bag. I gotta go get that. It's not like fuck them kids for real. It's more like fuck them kids for real. I need it. It's either me or you. If you want it, come get it. I'm not, if I thought about everybody's kids and everybody's plight and everybody's situation, I would never get nowhere. Nobody would ever get nowhere. So when I say things like that, it's to condition a person's mind to build their business to compete, because no one cares about your plight. Nobody. Kurt, if it's me and you and I met your family, I got to get it, Kurt. I got to get it.
No, I understand that. But what I'm saying is that they're comparing you with other people when you say stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. Because if they're watching other content creators that are not talking in that manner and you're home,
you know
they're
why?
gonna see that they're gonna
Let me
see
address that.
right.
You know why they won't talk? Because they want them to like them. See, they not going to tell a person what it really is out here, because it's a possibility somebody going to feel a certain type of way and unsubscribe and not like them, right? Me, I don't care. It is what it is. If it's me against you, I'm not going to like, if I'm competing against you, I'm competing to win. So,
well, that's where that's where they see. Well, that's where they see the disconnect from, because you say you don't care. So
no. It's not a disconnect. I don't care.
It is, because okay, then that's where I'm saying, if somebody watch you say you don't care, F them kids, I don't give a shit, because I'm not in your situation. I understand where you coming from. I'm just telling you from their perspective of why a lot of the time when people say, oh, don't listen to this guy because he's home, what the hell? Because they said the same thing about Mike. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. You haven't created content in a couple months. Now you
I'm not gonna
make
lie.
video with
I can't say this though. Over the hundreds of guys, the hundreds of guys who called me for a free consultation in the past year or so, nobody has ever said, hey man, I think you should quit making content. If anything, it's a blessing in disguise, man, because a lot of these guys who are still in their trucks and operating are charging for high coaching classes, $5 to $7 grand, 10 grand, and they can come and learn from me. Even though I didn't, like I said, I don't say I scale the business, but if you're just looking on how to start, and just want to hear another ear on it, I'm a text or a call away. So I don't really see that as like a super negative thing if we're helping each other.
No, I understand where he's coming from. I'm just telling you from their perspective, the subscriber looking on the screen.
So a person that comes and tells you that, man, Mark said fuck my kids, that's a person that's drawing off emotions and feelings, and they think the world is going to show them favor. No, the world is not going to show you favor. It's business. It's dog eat dog. It's cutthroat. That's me. That's me building them up. And guess what? I understand some people are going to get offended by that.
They don't see it like that though. But that's what I'm saying. They don't see it like that. And I think the more you sit and talk every night to a person or individual about business, is the more. Because here's the thing, what I'm trying to say to you, it doesn't offend me. I understand where you're coming from. What I'm saying is that these individuals are comparing you with other people. You don't know that, but in their mind, they are. You see what I'm saying? They are behind the scene comparing. So when you say certain thing, and then you bring up certain topic, and then you talk about OTR driver, and then you talk about brokers, and then you talk about shippers, and then
you're a goddamn lie. You're a goddamn lie. You're a goddamn lie. You're a goddamn lie. See, now you stretching it.
Hold on.
First of all, no. I'm not gonna let you do that.
I'm just telling you.
You're a lie. You're a lie. First of all, ain't nobody. I don't talk about no brokers or none of that shit. So. First of all, a person that feels a certain type of way.
I'm just using that as an example. I'm just using those as an example.
All right. So check this out. If a person feel like they upset because I told them the honest to God truth, then that just lets me know where mentally they at from a business perspective. If you get upset because a person told you that they're going to compete with you, and if we're on a load board looking at the same load, or if we're a customer is shopping, they have to move, and they have a Google list or a yellow page book list of different moving companies they can go to, that customer can only hire one company. So we're all in competition. If you call me to get a quote and you telling me you leaning towards me and another company, I'm gonna ask you what they charge you. I'm gonna take 10% off. I'm gonna take 10% off. You go with me right now. Whatever they charge you, I'm gonna take 10% off that right now. I need it. I'm pretty sure the owner of that company has a family. I'm pretty sure the workers have families. Fuck them. I'm supposed to be like, yo, all right, well, go with them. Hold on. And I'm telling you this. I'm telling you what your favorite content creators ain't going to tell you, because they want you to like them and hit the like button and come back and subscribe. I'm going to tell you what it really is out here. See, those are middle Americans. This is what we call middle Americans. They don't really understand that this shit cutthroat. You did.
Why they gotta be middle American? No, they're not.
Because if they thinking like that, from a business, and they have a business, they're entrepreneurs, they are going to fail, because it's going to be guys like me or hey, Kirk, you a wolf. After what we just seen the past month with Ricardo and Vernon, you can't say you not a wolf. So right now you sitting up here. Low key, Kirk, you a shark out here. You a shark out here. Man, don't sit up here and then try to hold me accountable, and you out here doing what you doing. Man, you better change the subject. Listen, you better change the subject.
I'm just giving you from their perspective. I understand where you're coming from. I'm talking about from the subscriber. You see what I'm saying? You taking it like it's
Kirk,
me and you. I'm talking about from the subscriber.
Do you care?
You see how you feel right? You see how you feel right now?
Kirk, I can say this though.
I feel the way because it's coming from you. You can't say nothing right now. You need to do this.
Kirk, you came in laying it on them thick now when you came into this industry, bro. You wasn't no pushover, bro. You was pretty harsh too.
No. I understand where Mark is coming from, but see that's what I'm saying. The way he feels right now is the same way some of the subscribers feel when they watch him talk the way I talk to him.
You hear Kirk talking.
The things that he's saying.
I'm trying to see why they would watch him at that point then. Are they watching him for the information, the value, or to be mad?
Hold on. He talking. This is just him talking. First of all, a person that went and told him that behind the scenes, if they really told him that, we know what type of business person this is, Mike. This ain't one of them guys. He one of them guys. Imagine. So basically, what you saying is, man, Kirk, it's enough money out here for everybody. No, it ain't.
I'm not.
No, it ain't.
Mark.
So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to take the load, and I'm going to let the next guy take it so he can do what he needs to do.
That's not what I'm saying.
Oh my God,
Mark. That's not what I.
Hey, Kirk, you can't. This probably ain't the topic for you to debate based on your last 30 days in the space. Based on your last 30 days in the space, you ain't just a shark with the competition. You a shark.
This might not be a fair competition.
This might not be the topic you want to talk about, Kirk.
You're talking to two good guys. You know what I'm saying?
Listen. I can talk about anything. Listen, Mark. Let's go back to what I'm saying. You're taking it as if I'm coming at you. That's not what I'm saying. You go into live stream. I'm in live stream and see people talk about you. I don't know those people, but they all got the same thing. Oh, Mark the mentor. I don't watch him. All he does is sit around that computer desk all day.
So they was talking about me. So they was talking about me to you.
No, they put that in the comment section. No, they put it in the comment section. I'm just saying that
they put it in the comment section, right?
And I'm explaining to you.
Did they put it in the comment? They put it in the comment section.
Not in my comment section.
Hold on.
Not in my comment section.
Listen, that means they talking. See, it's when they don't talk is when you need to worry. It's good or bad. I'm too old to care. So as long as they talking, if they feel a certain type of way that
So
I
why
said
you get
it's
upset and
it
say
is.
they're ignorant? Why would they have to be
That's
ignorant
no,
when
no,
you
no,
say
no,
that
no,
you're
no,
own?
no. I'm not upset. Ignorant is not a bad thing. Ignorance is just a person that lacks knowledge, that doesn't know on a specific subject. They just don't understand. But eventually they will. See, eventually they're gonna understand. When they see that person that keep taking their food, they're gonna understand it then. And then they're gonna turn into a wolf. You think, hold on, you just mentioned Amazon earlier. How many businesses Amazon done put out of business over the past 3 decades?
A lot. They would actually
A lot.
take less profit. They would be in the negative to take people out of business.
All right, let's look at this. Let's stick on things we talked about. Uber and Lyft, they killed the whole industry.
Out of taxes and stuff.
They knew they was doing it. You know what it's called? Disruptors. You either we know what we call that here in Chicago? Getting you up out the way. You got to get out the way. You in the way.
Why you taking it so personal, Mark?
I'm not taking it personal because
they're gonna get you, man.
No. They can't get me. If they feel that type of way. It was a lady like a couple years ago. I told her that, and she got really upset. Well, my son is new, so are you telling me? She took it real personal. So if you were in a 3PL with my son, you mean to tell me you would do him like this? You know what I told her? She was a scriber. Absolutely. What was I supposed to tell her? No. If he's in the way and he's weak, what am I? I'm trying to get to it. You know why? Because tomorrow ain't promised, Kirk. Guess what? Did anybody know a pandemic was coming in 2020?
Heck no.
All right. So if opportunities are presenting themselves at a current time period, should you let them go past you? Because you don't know what the next day holds. You need to get it off.
I'm not saying.
So what
that.
we talking about? So what we talking
I'm
about,
not saying
business
that.
guy? What are we talking about, business guy?
I'm not saying that. I'm talking from a subscriber, and then everybody knows. I know, might know that you did your time. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
The question you ask, should you guys be creating content while not active? And I'm just explaining to you from their point of view what they're looking at while you're giving the information. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't bother me. I'm not offended by the stuff that y'all say because I'm okay. But I'm just telling you points from their point of view.
So when you hear it, what do you say? I'm telling you what you say. You ride with it because it's funny to you. I've seen you do it instead of educating them and be like, listen, this is a capitalistic society.
A matter of fact, one of the reasons why I come up with the We Be Outside crew, I told people, I encourage people to stay outside and run their business. I never promote people to be inside. You see what I'm saying? So when you make certain when you have certain conversation and people might say, well, I disagree with this with Mark, like don't rent a stuff. People disagree with you. You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, is it logical for a person who cannot afford to start a business using a rent truck to begin with, even if they got $20,000? You see what I'm saying? What I'm saying to you is that if an individual is going to make the money based on their mindset. So a lot of the times when you talk about stuff, it doesn't bother me. I just tell people, look, if you want to make money, you got to be out here. You see what I'm saying? I think the issue with a lot of people that are, and I'm gonna say this, I think a lot of people that talk to you that have a problem with you is not even people that are out here. Yeah. No, wait, it's not even people that are doing what I'm doing, and it's not people that are out here. I think it's more coming from people that are struggling, trying to come out here, maybe a lot of different things. You're right. People that are actively out here running up and down, they really don't get offended by the stuff you're saying.
Yeah, it's funny because it was a guy on Midwest channel that was saying it in the chat last week. Oh, this guy is at home. He's sitting at a computer. And then his next comment was, yeah, I'm still trying to get out here. After 5 years, I'm still studying. So you worry about a guy and you studying for 5 years. You see what I'm saying? Now you met me in person.
Right.
You met me in person twice. You got to kick it with me, everything. So you know me and you've been around me, and you can validate
I can vouch for you, right?
that I'm okay. I'm okay.
It's not,
so a person that's worried. So hold on. This goes back to what I talk about. People worried about other men, because you write a sentence worried about a guy that's at home sitting at a desk that it seems to bother you, and then your next sentence, yeah, I'm still trying to come up with the money after 5 years. See how that works? Instead of you worrying about the money and coming up so you can come, you're worried about a guy that's sitting at home that's already done came in, did what he had to do for over a decade, that's sitting at home, and that bothers you, and your very next sentence in the chat is, yeah, I'm still waiting. I've been studying for 5 years. As soon as I come up with the money, to get in, I'm going to get in, because this guy's sitting at home. But I'm going to come up with that money. I'm going to come it up.
Yeah, can I say something to turn on
so
you?
You know what I do? You know what I do, Kirk?
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Mike.
Oh, yeah. I was just saying, like, Kirk, would you rather, let's say if I transition into a freight dispatcher, would you rather it be somebody who's had experience in trucking?
No, but it's not about me. Y'all try to make it about me.
I get
it's not about me. Right.
But I'm just saying, what's your opinion on that?
Say that again.
Like, let's say if you were looking for a dispatcher, would you want somebody who had owner-operator experience and has made money with the truck, or somebody who just bought a course? Yeah,
no,
you know what I'm saying?
I wanted somebody that's been in the business that is going to, because the more experience is the more my truck is going to move.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, I get the same thing. Guys told me in my live stream, your numbers are fabricated. Guys come over there and says it's impossible to do partial. You see what I'm saying? One guy said, I've been in trucking for 8 years and I've never seen anybody do partial and make the kind of money you make. So I get it.
What's going on in the chat with Menorca and Don Solo? What's the problem?
What are they doing?
I don't know.
What's that?
I saw the goofy word, so I'm trying to figure out why.
Oh, I'm not looking in the chat.
The discourse in the chat.
What's going on in the chat between Menorca and Don Solo?
Not sure.
I
ain't been reading it too much either. But yeah,
somebody said they wanna say.
I don't know. Was she talking to me? Because if she talking about me, I wasn't talking about her. It was a guy. It was a guy that I was shooting at. I don't shoot at women. It was a guy over there worried about another man that's sitting at home. Because I know a chick ain't going to worry about it. A chick that's sitting, the guy sitting at the crib, she going to be interested. What's going on over there, buddy, at the crib? You know, it's these men that just be worried about other men. And I don't understand that. It's a lot of men that are just, no, you ain't got to say pause. You ain't to ask them, why y'all worry about other men? Like, no, shit. Like, bro, what?
I mean, I think the people that come, the people that come at you with that type of statement are people that, you know, it's just a lot of underlying content.
I love it. I love it because I'm still sitting here. Next time you come back, we're gonna pop more 1942. Do we pop 1942? You talking about a guy at the crib that's popping 1942 in the club?
Yeah. So
I
think.
Ain't retired.
Hey, who working? Yeah, I work every day.
No,
I look at my phone and but you work from the crib. You doing a good job from the crib. You know, doing your insurance thing. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing: if you do what you supposed to do for about a good 10 to 15 years, by the time you turn 40, you should be all right.
Think about 35.
35.
And also,
I think a lot of people don't realize how old I am too, bro. Like I know I look young, but I'm old, bro. I
Not
know I
only
look
that,
young.
but you got to understand also, Mark, you got to look from a different point of view also.
Yeah,
A
and I
lot of
wanted to
people
say, Mark, you
are,
meet the demographic of most people watching. For my channel, almost like 40% are people 45 to 55. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mhm.
guys are starting off, but they're your age starting.
Mm.
It's not a lot of guys. Like less than 10% of guys who
Mhm.
watch me are my age or younger.
Yeah,
So,
which
Yeah,
is
and you got to look at it from this point of view also, where people saw their grandmama grow up. She worked until she 80. Granddaddy grew up. Mama grew up. They
mm.
watch all of that happen. Till they 70, 80, and then here come you sitting down talking about retired. You got to look at it from that point of view also, that some people
Why
might
is
have,
why is it?
hold on,
Mm-hmm.
some people might have a disdain towards you just for that, because their mama's still working,
My mama ain't
the
working.
dad's still. Now, I'm just giving you some of the where some of that might be coming from. Their
Yeah.
dad and mom still working and struggling. You
Mm-hmm.
see what I'm saying? And here you are
Mm-hmm.
on the internet.
Mm.
Some people don't, they can't. I don't know why people do the things they do, but that's where
Mm-hmm.
some of that be coming from. I know. Like let me give you an example. I know a guy in New York. Him and his wife. They're working the healthcare business. Whenever she's coming home, if this dude is coming home 6 at night,
Mm-hmm.
she's going to work. They
Mm.
work opposite shift, and they got like 3, 4 jobs. Why? Because they
So
got the mortgage. They got.
mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
So
And
they
and
never
when
see
I
each
sit
other.
and talk to him, they
Mm-hmm.
rarely see each other. That's what I'm saying. But when I sit and I talk to him about trucking,
Mm-hmm.
you see what I'm saying? He's like, man, I want your life. I want to be able to do this. I want to. When I was in London with Kenisha, the same thing, man. I haven't taken my girl and my wife on a vacation for about 2, 3 years. You see what I'm saying? So there are people
Mm-hmm.
that comparing your life, your situation with theirs, but you don't see it, but people do it. And
So
that's
they come.
why
So
sometimes they say the things that they
so they
say.
so they come talk to you privately.
I'm not talking about me. I'm saying that's why you see comments. People make those
Ah,
comments.
bro, we that's
I'm just
ignorance,
in
bro.
talking about.
We don't pay
I'm just
that shit
talking
no
about in
mind. Yeah, I seen a guy the other day. He wrote a
general.
long um
So when that
Entre
guy
Mike.
said in a live stream last week,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he said, right. He said, the guy said in a live stream, "Oh, I don't watch Mark the Mentor because he's always on the computer. He sits at his house. He's not even in a truck."
Mm-hmm.
For you to get to that, and you saw the comment. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
like today. It's like today again.
Mm.
You know, people gonna come in your comment section and they're gonna say they're gonna agree and disagree in this live
Mm.
stream. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's a lot of different issue why people come to the conclusion they come to, and some people hold it, some people can't hold it.
Yeah,
You see
that's
what
Kirk,
I'm saying?
crazy. That's
Kirk,
crazy.
one thing about those guys though, and we know it, they watch the stream for a different reason. Like it's some people who will hate Mark or
Mm-hmm.
me and watch the full video. Like it's just something about if they didn't like Mark, they gonna make sure to tap into the lives just to talk about the stuff they don't like about him. It's so weird, but
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's just a part of
Mm-hmm.
putting yourself out here as a content creator.
Yeah.
Because
So
I
I don't.
believe Chauncey watching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he named the name, but I don't know. Maybe he got a
Oh
different
shoot,
thing.
my bad.
But that's yeah, that's your subscriber. But like he wrote a laundry list of stuff, and I told him, I'm like, bro, this ain't accurate. You confused, and see, you're narcissistic. Just telling me you confused, bro. What you're saying is not consistent with who I am. Clearly, you don't watch my content. You don't
Yeah.
show us this,
Right.
and you don't show us that, bro. You don't watch my content. I'm not active to show you a loading dock and this, that, and the third, and da da. Bro, I've been out for two
But
years, almost three.
but
So
but right.
so he stopped after that. He didn't say, "Oh, my bad," or "Oh man, you were right." He just stopped. And at the end of the day, that it is
I
what
got
it
guys
is.
like that on my channel too, who for like years they'll consistently hate, and then after a while they'll kind of come back and be like, "Hey man, I wasn't trying to be so hard. I just feel like you could be doing a little bit better explaining X, Y, and Z." You know what I'm saying? So like
Mhm,
literally will put 10 comments in one video, just expressing
mhm,
themselves on every part of the video.
I
Yeah.
think all right, I think because I'm out here, I think that a lot of the especially my videos where I post of me doing the live stream with the freight in the truck, I think there's an intriguement about just the old freight and the old behind the scene that people like about it. The freight and the truck, you showing the inside of the warehouse, people working, you talking to the receptionist, you getting the truck seal. That experience is something that some people are looking for, so they have an idea. And when you're
Mhm.
home talking about it and they can't actually see it, it leaves that is like a fog in their mind. Well, if
I
I get my
disagree.
truck, what next?
I
I'm
disagree.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying from some of the point of view of some
Mhm.
people watching you. I'm not
That means
saying
they that
not.
means they can go to
Remember,
you for
we're
that.
not
That means they can
Yeah.
go to
right,
you for that. You see what I'm
but
saying? You
but but
can't
but,
you
but see
can't
but see
go ahead, bro.
but see Mark, they're always gonna do that. That's something you're not gonna be able to get away from,
And I don't care.
because oh, okay, fine. But Antro might do ad shot. People were in the comment section just now asking about, well, what if you get partial seal on the truck? Antro might do ad shot, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's no seal on the ad shot.
Andre
Mm-mm.
Mike did
It's
hot
way
shot.
easier.
We talking about not
It,
active.
it
He
it did,
did.
right,
It's
right.
not
So he
active.
Yeah.
did. So there's no seal on the ad shot. You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So if that broker pay him to take that one pallet, does Antro Mike run it with just one pallet, or does he look at next load going in that direction because now
I
he's an
slap
ad
a
shot? So
F-350 on the back if it fits.
right. But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is that the argument conversation going to create based off the situation. You see what I'm saying? That's the
I
point I'm trying to make. So if somebody's watching you, if somebody, hey, you can disagree with what they're saying, but I'm saying if somebody watching you and they
Mhm.
want a certain content, okay, cool. Maybe you watch Mark just for business. Don't watch him for the outside stuff. You see what I'm saying? Watch Mike for this. Don't watch him for that. Or you can watch a combination of whatever you want to watch, but just know that he's not gonna give you
so
that part of the
yeah.
content that you're looking
Yeah.
for. You see
I
what
agree
I'm
with that.
saying?
You do?
I agree with the fact that you can watch different creators for different reasons, right? So you got
Mhm.
Mark, this whole, business strategist who's all about advocating cost per mile operations and scalability and knowing when to scale. Is this the right market too? Is it the environment? You got Kirk where he has another asset in like knowing about parceling to a level that even I didn't do with a 40-foot hot shot versus his 26-foot box truck. And then you got me, I'm more on the service side now where I can help you start your LLC, do the DOT number, some of the boring stuff that honestly these boys up here don't even want to do. They wouldn't want to do that. They wouldn't want to sit on the phone with you for an hour and help you set up your DOT, UCR, BOC3, and help you do an MCS 150 change your address. They don't want to do that. They want to help you scale your business, know if this is the right market to do so. And then, like I said, Kirk offers something pretty rare with box trucking, getting $5, $6, $7 a mile. I mean, I know he's in the dry van now, but he was doing that with a box truck, and that was something different that he brought to the game. So yeah, I think it's different ways we can all
So
incorporate our content to help others, and also they can help themselves by researching different people for different things, right? Because I'm not sure, but do you have like business setup type videos where they run through the entire process A to Z, Mark or Kirk?
I do from
Mark,
Way
years
back.
ago, but they're
Yeah,
not in
yeah.
one video, but they're a collection of different videos where I just went from the beginning all the way down to the exit strategy. You see what I'm
Okay,
saying? I did
that's
that
fair.
content a year and a half, 2 years ago. You know what I'm
But
saying?
but
So
you got over 500 lives, so I mean, people gonna really have to weed through if you ain't making
that,
consistent content
we
for
used to
new
have to go.
ventures.
We used to have to go to the library and go in that back room and turn off the lights and go through microfilm. So I
Yeah,
don't think going through a content catalog is as strenuous as going through a bunch of files and shelves in a dark room, taking some microfilm, putting it under a goddamn microscope, and looking at shit on the wall and pulling the goddamn lever down, reading news stories on the wall from microfilm.
Yeah.
So I don't feel bad for a person to go through 500 videos because they can do that from their phone or their house. Like, we literally had to go to the library, get a library card, check in, ask for permission, and go through that process that I just talked about.
Yeah.
You see
Or
what
they
I'm saying?
could.
So
Or they could go to a channel that
y'all lazy. Y'all lazy.
Yeah, they are lazy. They are lazy. That's
No,
what I'm saying.
you 26. You a they. You a they too.
Yeah.
What you talking
But I mean,
about,
we have
they?
access to technology. We're supposed to be
You
taking
ain't
advantage
able-
of it.
All
If
right,
it's a way to
they-
look, if it's a way to take shortcuts, that's what you're supposed to do. Save time. Everybody ain't retired, Mark. People on the time crunch. They might only got 45 minutes out the night to research.
Do you know what microfilm is?
I don't. That's the funny part.
All right. Go
Yeah.
look it up. That's your homework.
I
look
pull
up
Google now.
microfilm.
It said microfilm.
So I don't
Oh
feel
my
bad
God.
that they gotta go. Yeah.
Yeah, man. 70s,
Yeah.
baby? What? I know it is. Are you a 70s or are you right at 80?
I was born in 80, but here's the thing. In the 80s and in the 90s, this is how you did research.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This is how you did
Nasty
research.
work.
When you went to the library and you wanted to research an article, you had to pull it up on microfilm. So that's why when I hear a lot of the shit y'all say and the dumb shit, the ignorant shit, I just ignore it. You don't know what it's like writing a paper you got to research some shit on microfilm and sit there and look at the goddamn wall and write shit down. Ain't no phone I can snap that shit. What you talking about?
That ain't efficient, though.
No,
Might
it's
have been
what
a
it
different way of
was.
learning.
What it was at the time.
Yeah.
So to me, technology, I can appreciate it because the extent we had to go to acquire knowledge was a lot of hurdles and hoops we had to jump through. So when you say, man, Mark, you got 500 live streams, this is why a person would think I'm bogus and say so, because that ain't shit. You can do that from your phone. We had to leave the crib. You know how much, even if you had an encyclopedia, most people couldn't afford an encyclopedia. Imagine buying a computer. Now, that was like buying an encyclopedia set back then. You was blessed if you had an encyclopedia set in your crib. World Book or Encyclopedia Britannica. You was even more blessed if you had a computer in the mid 90s with AOL dial-up. So no, we had to actually go to the library. This is when having a library card was an asset. So no. I'm not gonna let you do that. Not gonna let you do that. Y'all need to scroll through that content. I'm not finna reproduce that shit so that you can be convenient. No. And then this is the problem. You worry about why I'm sitting up here at the crib because you lazy. You don't want to go do nothing. I don't want to hear that. So Kurt, you can tell them to keep watching, keep being upset, and I'm gonna keep sitting here. While they upset, still waiting 5 years trying to figure it out, it's gonna be another 5 years because it don't take 5 years. They could have went and got a job year 1, saved up the money. Year 2, year 3, they could have been in. They would have already been active for 2 years. By year 4, I was gone. I don't want to hear it.
Hey, have some compassion for the guys, man.
What you talking about? Hear that shit?
Have a little compassion for the guys, man.
Man, I ain't having no compassion for nobody to sit up here and worry and lazy. You can't tell me about making content. I'm gonna sit up here and talk about it because I can talk about it. And no shot at you, Mike. Mike 26. I'm old enough to be his daddy. I got 20 years on Mike.
Fair.
You talking about Mike don't even know what microfilm is, so can't none of his Gen Z buddies tell me nothing. They can't even
Hell.
wipe their ass. Fuck is you talking
Mike.
about? Everybody
Hey,
sit down
Mike.
and shut.
Right
Listen,
there,
everybody
though.
Hey,
sit down and
Mike.
shut up. Sit down and
Hey,
shut up.
Mike.
And see, this is what Mike ain't gonna do this. Because Mike want people to like him and hit the like button and tell him nice things in the chat. Fuck out of here, boy. I'm an old man. I don't give no fuck. Call me Uncle Ruckus.
Look, I'm outnumbered, so
Oh,
at this point, I
oh
ain't really
my
got
God.
much, right?
Hey, Mike.
Talking
Hey,
about.
Mike. Hey, Mike. You get this guy off with staying home, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
man. I mean,
hey,
I'm at the house too. That's why I'm saying I can't really say much, but
telling me this dumb
I think
shit.
Mark's situation is different because of how long he's been in it. I mean, I guess I didn't research enough Mark's content to know how long he was actively driving versus a managerial standpoint, but that shouldn't really matter if you're running a business. Like, how do y'all feel about guys who has a fleet of semi trucks but never drove a truck?
I don't see how
They
you
still
can
know how
do
to
it.
operate
I
the
don't see how
business.
you can do it. I see me personally.
But there's guys who got it though.
Coming from but where are they at? Because I don't see how you could do that here in Chicago without ever being out there.
Let me throw out a big name like Good Energy Worldwide, right? He got plenty of semis, never had a CDL. I mean, his whole
I'm not familiar with his. I'm not familiar with his strategy and his content. His name gets thrown around a lot. CDL Shorty throws his name around. He kind of drags him, but I hear people throw his name around. I hear he owns a club, but I don't. Yeah. I've never watched any of his content to know where he started to where he's at to comment on him. I just know his name goes around. More times I hear his name, it's usually not good. But you know, I'm not going to be the person to, because I haven't
I'm not going to lie though,
content.
Mark. Anybody who's gotten that big, like let's say the guys with over 500, 600,000 either subscribers or Instagram guys, I never hear anything good about them. There's not one.
So let me say it from this perspective. Me coming from a moving and a final mile background, OTR is different, right? Because you can hire a driver's class, a CDL, and you can check their background, shit like that. But when you got people dealing with going into people's homes, they have to be trained. All right. And it needs to be trained to your standards, right? Same thing with final mile, right? So you have to understand that business in order to train the people as you scale, that train the people that come in. The people that are the trainers were trained by you. And then they train all the new entrants, right? So when shit happens, I know how to investigate. I know what to say. I know what questions to ask. I know if you're telling me bullshit or not. There's a lot more variables when we're dealing with a customer and you're dealing with property, right? So coming from my background, I don't think I would have ever grown to the level that I grew to if I never went out there and physically did the work. How can I hold somebody accountable for tearing up somebody's floor or tearing up somebody's item if I don't know how to properly get a couch up 3 flights of stairs?
Yeah.
I can't even rectify the situation or even know what to tell them because shit, I never did it before. You see what I'm saying? So coming from my background, dealing hands-on with furniture and property, which OTR guys, you don't have to go in the person's home. You see what I'm saying? So I don't think I would. I think the claims, like if I would have did it without actually being out in the field and knowing what the field entails, I believe my claims would have been a lot higher. I believe I would have not even made it to the heights that I made it to, because a part of the success was having good guys and training them the right way to reduce a lot of, claims. Claims is what killed people in my industry.
Do you think you could recreate your story in this market, honestly?
In this market, no, I talk about all the time because I wouldn't find them gorillas that was out back in the early 2010s, them gorillas is doing other things. They not finna do this type of work because there's things that they can do for similar pay for less physical labor, with less physical labor, right? And then the mindset of the people of an age range that I was hiring then, the people in that age range today ain't got that mentality and that dog that they had in them back then. So mentally, capital, resources, the only resources I would lack was the people. Could I do it? Yes. Would I get to where I got to? I don't think I could find enough killers like I had back then, because man, just tell little man just got out the joint, tell him to come holler at me. Ain't nobody else gonna hire man. Ain't nobody going. This be Fofo and them. We was Scud. What's up, Scud? Hey man, sit Scud over here. Tell Scud to come holler at me. Scud just got out the joint. Scud couldn't go get a job nowhere. Scud was either gonna go work for the essays, if they let him, up on the roof, or he was finna come work for Mark, doing some moving, some heavy lifting. Send all Scuds to me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And it was so many of them. I never lacked workers.
Yeah, why wouldn't you recruit like the YNs?
We had some YNs back then. Listen, do I want to deal with this new era YN? Because see, the YNs right there, they fell under the act. They fell under the demonstration. They respected the OGs. Yeah. They fell under the demonstration. You don't understand what I'm talking about. So just listen and just don't say nothing. They fell under the demonstration. Nowadays, the demonstration ain't even like it's a demonstration no more. They gonna do what they gonna do. So you damn near can't reprimand. You got to think twice before you reprimand a YN now. A reprimand to a YN now, it might lead to a gunfight. By 2022, everybody was coming to work with a book bag. You don't get what I'm saying. People used to come to work. As time went on, by 2019, 2018, like, why so many people bringing book bags to work? What y'all got in them book bags?
Right.
What you got a book bag for? Everybody coming to work with a book bag. Why do y'all have book bags? I didn't get it.
What it was, Mark?
So imagine holding somebody accountable. Look, you tore up that flow. You heard when Rob came up here, I took his homie whole check. He tore up that flow. I need it all. Yeah, them Latin Kings, they wanted to demonstrate, but we was up there on business. So they didn't come. They couldn't demonstrate because we was on business. But here's the thing. Could I do and demonstrate now the way I demonstrated back then? Nah. You hold somebody accountable now, and ain't no such thing as with these YNs. Man, you got YouTube. You see how these shorties out here operating, bro? Listen, man, yeah. I gotta come in. I gotta reprimand you for whatever. Man, y'all, who you talking to? Oh, whatever nation. Oh, Scud, boy, I tear this bitch up, boy. You twinging, boy. I'm one of that. Then I gotta figure out what he's saying. He got shit coming all out his mouth. He high. You dig what I'm saying? Because they off the perkies and the Xannies and shit like that.
Right.
And then I gotta wonder if, like it just wouldn't work, bro.
It's different. Yeah, it's different.
It's different. So no, I wouldn't want to do that shit. I don't understand these little shorties. No, bro. No. God is an awesome God. My shit was set up. Some people could call it luck. I don't give a fuck what you call it. God had my shit set up. God had me set up because I think about it. How in the world would I be able to deal with these shorties today? I wouldn't. I was blessed. You can say it was like, I'm gonna say blessed. I did shit the right way, and I caught a break with the pandemic, and it was a bunch of fools. I took advantage of some fools. And because I did what I was able to, what I did what I was supposed to do. I was in the right situation when the opportunity presented itself to make that exit. So no, I don't think I would be able to do it. And I'm honest with you. And that's why I'm always transparent. No, I don't think I'll be able to do it. I think the opportunity at that particular time for what I do, moving in final mile, it was the right time period. A lot of the moving companies, especially the larger private ones here, how you think they've been getting by the past 2 years? How you think they've been getting by the last 2 years, and it's going to be difficult for them this year?
Oh, you asking a question?
Yeah,
Say it
I'm
one more
asking
time.
you. How do you think a lot of moving companies here, moving companies, not final mile companies, because they got to go through process and procedures with the 3PLs, moving companies. How do you think a lot of moving companies have been getting by the past 2 years? In my mark, I'm in a sanctuary city.
You think getting undocumented workers for cheaper labor?
It ain't about the cheaper labor. They had to get undocumented workers to meet their demand.
Mm.
It ain't about the labor. It's about meeting the demand.
Okay.
You'll see licensed moving companies wrap trucks pull up to the Home Depot, and a guy not unlicensed, you'll see licensed moving company with a full wrap pull up to the Home Depot. Go to your local Home Depot. They'll pull right up. Guy get in. Well, we need one. Hand them a shirt.
Sound risky.
It's risky, but when you have a business to run and the costs that are associated with running a business,
It is
and
what
don't
it is.
nobody
Yeah.
show up, you're going to do what you got to do, right? You're going to take that risk. That's why they running into warehouses, ICEs, factories, moving companies. Why? Because they're running into all the places that have a hard time sourcing workers, and they know these companies rely on these people, especially at this time, and we can go in there and just round up a bunch of them.
My bad. The camera went dead. I got you.
So, no,
Hold on real quick.
I don't think it. I don't think I'll be able to do it. Not in my industry. Now, OTR, it would still be difficult. Don't act like the OTR guys is not having a hard time. Why? Because they want to get back to Boo Bay. They want to get back to Boo Bay. See, Kurt, you can stay on the road and you can thug it out because you older guy and you understand responsibility. A lot of these young guys that see this shit, they see it as a way to make money without a supervisor or a manager over. They can work for themselves, by themselves, and be out. And they think it's sweet until they get out there over the road. And then what happened? They start to get lonely. They start to, it's just they see their friends back home turning up, and that life over the road, they thought they could handle it, and then they can't handle it. So even with OTR, it's still a lot of owner operators that have a hard time from a box truck perspective. Maybe not necessarily so much from a CDL perspective. The CDL small owner operators, their biggest threat is just the amount of competition they have to compete against, and the mega carriers that can offer benefits and things of that nature. But from a box truck perspective, all these guys that are coming out that you hiring to run over the road, it's the same situation. So like somebody said,
Yeah, a lot
hey,
of these
MHG, I'm
guys.
OT, I'm out for 3 weeks. So right. So a lot of these guys, they don't want to be out for 3, 4, 5 weeks at a time. And you know it. That's why you got rid of your trucks. So
Yeah, it's a different time. The guys who used to want to be out here, that was a long time ago. Now you can't get nobody come out here. But it's also different. It's more expensive out here. It costs a lot more to be out here also. So
That's on me.
a lot of times people can't even afford to be out here. That person in the comment section might be out here for 3 weeks, but it might cost how much is the cost for him to be out here? You see what I'm saying? Whatever it costs him might cost Mike or a different guy more money because they might newer. You see what I'm saying? So it's just a lot of different things. And then you got to deal with the mindset, people will come for the money, but not really for the work. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a whole different things why, OTR. And then you got to deal with, and then the biggest thing is the broker. I mean, I talk to brokers that the rate is for a full truckload from Pennsylvania to Dallas is like $2,500, and that's like 26 pallet, 40,000 pounds.
Mm.
How are people doing that? I have no idea. I don't see the profit in that.
Mm.
But there are people out here that are doing that. And then I spoke to people at different facilities, sometimes even at the truck stop. I'm talking to guys and I told them I do partial and they're like, nah, I don't I just want to go one place, pick up my load and leave. So then you
Mm.
got those people. And those people are complaining. You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So it's just a
we
whole different.
we in a
Some
different
of the people
time.
not telling the truth. Yeah, some of the people are not telling the truth of why they're not making money out here, but some of them are they're not making money because of the freight, but some of them they turn on work. And they got guys out here, they strictly rely on a broker. They don't want to build a relationship. They don't want to do nothing else but what they come out to do, which is get a dispatcher, pay 10% and just be over with it. That's all they want to do.
Mm.
So it's a different generation. It's different times.
You want to finish close
Sure.
this one out, Mike, before we go to the next one, or y'all want to just jump to the next one?
We can go to the next one. We about 2 hours in.
Yeah, we kind of
Yeah, we
been
straight
yeah. All right, so I think we kind of well probably
a
not
little bit.
OTR versus local, which is more sustainable.
Mm. So not
Kirk
earning
kind of
potential, but sustainability.
I mean, we can touch on sustainability, earning potential. Kirk kind of started this debate,
Hmm.
in the last topic, but sustainability, um, earning potential.
I think the first thing to probably talk about is just the competition, right?
Hmm.
Competition for being local, I would guess, is higher. But
It
just
depends.
yeah,
It
I
depends on
think
which
that's
niche.
something that we can talk about. And I would also like to argue maybe the lifestyle, right? Because you got two different arguments for being over the road, the lifestyle of always being gone from your family. But I know Kirk don't do one pick, one drop, but let's just talk about the guys who want to kind of do B2B, doc to doc, not really worry about interacting with a lot of people versus
Mhm.
when you're doing something like Final Mile, it's more stressful on your body, not
Mhm.
necessarily from driving, but from lifting heavy products. So I think it's a pretty good topic that I'm kind of neutral on, but I think I would say from what I write, most people would rather do OTR than local. At least
Mm,
starting.
Mm-mm.
start.
Most
At
people,
least starting.
here's the thing. There are people that will choose local over OTR, not realizing that they're putting in more hours and doing more work than an OTR driver. If you're doing one pick, one drop, or two pick, two drop, you see what I'm saying? Because if you got guys, let's say you start 8 o'clock this morning and you got seven stop, and you might go into like maybe let's just say you go to from Jersey to New York, or even if you stay in Jersey, you might go to South Jersey. You dropping off, and then soon as you finish your load, then you gotta drop off and then pick up, coming back, work your way back to the warehouse. Some of those guys don't get home till sometime they get home 7, 8 o'clock at night. You know what I mean? If you're working with certain company, you still do long hours. So this idea where if I stay local, you do less work and home early is not necessarily true. The reason why I love OTR and the reason why and it goes back to the statement, and that's why I was telling Mark early on. I understand why certain people say certain things to creators. People come on my channel and say, "Well, if you're so good at partial, why you only got one truck?" That's
Mm.
all my brother end up in a second truck. That's all my brother end up in his truck. You see what I'm saying? Because soon as they said that, I went out and get a rental truck, keep it for 3 months,
Damn,
and
Kurt,
bought a truck.
you let somebody in
The
the
point that
chat.
I'm the,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
but I'm saying, if you do OTR, the reason why I bring that up is you're always gonna have a difference of opinion between local and OTR.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? People always gonna challenge who you are as an individual and what you do. You see what
Mhm.
I'm saying? So for me with OTR, I like OTR because I understand a lot of stuff that goes on out here, the people, the rates, the brokers, um, local stuff. I've done that. You get what I'm saying?
Kirk,
It's just
would you say that the earning potential is more capped with OTR or local? I feel like it would possibly be local versus OTR with what you do. I guess it kind of depends on what kind of freight carrier we're talking about, because comparing like an
no
over the road
because
flatbed
oh
versus a go ahead, Kirk.
you no you get capped when you're local because OTR, the rate always change.
Mm,
The
that's
rate
fair.
always change. If I get if hold on, if I get a route, if my route if my route is $600 a day, it's gonna be $600 a day. If I
Yeah,
go to a shipper and there's an
Mhm.
extra pallet and I'm charging them $100 per pallet and I'm getting three, four pallet, that's extra money. Because now they got to pay for the extra pallet plus they got to pay for the weight. Worse if I got to cancel a load to get that extra pallet replaced. Now I'm gonna try and get that rate out of those pallets that I gotta cancel.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But if I can get more money on the truck, or I'm gonna give an example. This happened last week. A broker gave me a load. It was six pallet. I went to the warehouse. All six pallet was double stock. I told the guy, just put them in. It's three pallet space. I said, yo,
Mm.
just put them in. He said, sure, you don't want me to. I said, no, just put it. So now I get paid for six pallet space, but only take three pallets.
You got like 21 left.
Exactly. So you see what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
when you're local, so now I got space for three more pallet plus whatever I have. So the OTR, the money is always growing.
mm.
There's always room. Then you got layover, then you got detention, then you got all the other things that, besides that. So,
To play devil's
yeah,
advocate, those are the things that we hate about it, though. We hate detention. We hate tow new. Because we know if we get paid tow new on a load with detention, it's probably not going to make as much profit, depending on like how many days we were or hours we were waiting on the actual freight. Um, but I think it's still a good conversation. Oh, you got a super chat? It threw me
Shout
off.
out to Costas. Appreciate that. No, I'm just hit the button. You got it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. It kind of threw me off topic. But yeah, I think it's a good conversation. What did I want to ask you, Kirk? I guess because you keep speaking more on partialing, but I think the conversation would be more of a like maybe a better debate for somebody who just does one pick, one drop, because everybody doesn't partial. Yeah, you can say the opportunity, like the earning potential is higher, but the reality of it is everybody doesn't have the same skill set you have to partial consistently to keep building up that truck. That's somebody with tenure and that knows load planning who's able to do that on a consistent basis versus somebody just starting off one pick, one drop versus somebody doing final mile all day off either gig apps or let's say a Home Depot track
mhm.
contract. I think that'd be like more of
But let me
a
say
situation.
this. But let me say this. Go back to partial. There are brokers that promote doing partial. The problem is people assume that they cannot take other freight because once they book freight number one, there's going to be a seal on the truck, or even if there's no seal, they got to run it directly, which is not true. I have spoke to brokers on my live stream where I called brokers, people watching me, and I said, you have six pallets? He's like, yeah. And then I'm like, well, I can't do it for $800. And he's like, well, go look at next load. You
Mm,
see what I'm saying? So there
yeah,
are brokers that tell you can run a next load with the load that you're carrying. You see what I'm saying?
yeah. Well,
Um,
those. those are freight brokers just trying to get the lowest price possible, because if it's not a lot of demand for that freight, let's say they already got a bunch of that supply sitting at a warehouse, they're not really too, they're not too stern about when it needs to be there. It probably doesn't need to be there for another, few weeks. So of course they're going to keep it at a low rate for you to take it for cheaper. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. It's a different conversation when you're talking about profit.
Well, listen. The rate is gonna be based on. The, let's be honest. The rate of any freight is gonna base on. It's gonna based on a lot of different things. You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It's gonna be you as a carrier. It's gonna be the broker history. It's gonna be the shipper. You get what I'm saying? It's gonna be
yeah,
where it's going, how much pallet, how much weight. Remember, you're selling time, space, and weight to a broker. You see
mm,
what I'm saying? How long it's gonna take you, how much space it's gonna take, and how much weight you're carrying. You see what I'm saying? And then not only when you finish sell that, but I just told, like, before we get on the live, I told you guys I have a delivery tomorrow. I
yeah.
picked it up on Friday. So now when it deliver, those stuff goes into the factor of having a load end up with the price that it end up with. So a lot
Yeah.
of the times when you hear guys complain about the rate, it's because a lot of things they're not factoring in. You see what I'm saying? And then let's say somebody get the load I get that I'm gonna deliver tomorrow, pay $2,200, right? Let's say they get $2,600. They get $400 more than me. The
Mm-hmm.
difference with them is they gotta pay a dispatcher. I don't.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of different things that comes into play when it comes on to be an OTR driver
Well,
versus
can I
being
say this?
local.
Do you think
Hmm.
it would probably be more beneficial for somebody trying to build a fleet to surround it around staying local and having their drivers local, but do labor intensive work, or just go over the road and they're away from their families? Like those are two separate arguments that are both hard to do, but you could argue, even as somebody who did middle mile, that local may be more sustainable for that, but
No,
it
it will
doesn't mean
go
the
back to
earning
the same
potential will
conversation.
be there. Yeah,
No, it will go back to the same conversation Mark just made, because building a fleet now versus back then is different.
yeah,
You see what I'm saying? So it goes to what he was just saying. You know, if you it's and this is just my opinion. It's easier to build an OTR fleet than a local fleet.
mm,
As stupid as that might sound.
How is
Reason
that?
why is because the reason why is because you would more find a guy that's gonna go OTR. I'm not talking about the lazy guys. I'm talking about the guys that really wanna, if this
make
is
money.
what they want to do, they really want to come out here and drive a truck and eventually buy their own truck. If you can find those guys, it's easier to build a fleet off of those guys versus buying 10 box truck and get a contract and find a bunch of, you know, all the guys to put in those truck and then have them running it successful. You see what I'm saying? That's just from my observation how it is. You see what I'm
I
saying?
think.
Cause let's be realistic. You seen the video, Mark. You seen the video, Mike. How many
Hmm.
videos on YouTube about people switching from Prime, Warner, Walmart, all the videos. One guy might switch 5 different companies
Yeah,
in 1 year on YouTube. You see what I'm saying? So if I can catch those guys that keep switching up and I'm building a fleet, it's easy for me to recruit one or two of those guys, put them in my fleet. You see
They're
what I'm
gonna,
saying?
but see, that's gonna be hard for you. But that goes against your
competition.
argument because sustainability. You won't be able to
Yeah,
sustain because those guys are seat hopping. They're gonna seat hop you too. They're
yeah,
gonna seat hop you
Eh,
too. So it's gonna be hard
right,
to.
correct,
In order for you to
correct.
grow and sustain, you have to keep drivers. If you keep having drivers leaving, then you can't grow because you're having to replace the drivers in the current trucks that you have.
Right. But at the same time, what I'm saying is I'm talking about if I can get guys who are not jumping all over the place, but if I can get them just the fact that they are willing to come out here and work initially, then I can build a fleet from that.
Yeah, I think you're
Versus
gonna need some
It,
really
it,
of
hungry,
10
it,
hungry
trucks,
it, it,
drivers
of
though.
10 trucks
it,
and stay local.
it's going to be harder for you than it is for a mega carrier. So,
Yeah,
like somebody said in the chat, and I was finna go that way. If they're leaving and seat hopping mega carriers, it's a reason why they're doing it. But you can't
offer
provide
some
the
incentives,
benefits and right, you know what I'm saying, the incentives that they can. You got some guys that just seat hop for the sign on bonus.
bonus. Yeah,
You
they do
finna
that
throw
for
a
real.
cat. You finna throw a cat a dime. Throw them 2,500
Yeah, but
each quarter.
yeah, but that's stupid because every time they jump from one carrier to carrier, some of them are leaving the contract that they signed with those carrier. Like they might sign a contract with Prime. You see what I'm saying? So now they can get higher at the next company because they have to pay for that CDL. Let's say they clear that CDL, then
We're not
there's
talking about the
always
guys that
something.
we're not talking about the guys that owe because the carrier
But
sent them to
that's
school
what
for
I'm
the
saying.
CDL.
You got
We're talking
guys
about the
who are
guys
doing that.
that not the guys that owe the school owe for their CDL. We're talking about guys that are free and clear that can go and come as they please. We're talking about those guys.
They are
Hmm.
trying to crack down on those guys. When I learned this in CDL school, that you have like a driver profile, kind of like how Carrier 411 can look at a
Exactly,
carrier and their
exactly.
background. They'll know if you're seat hopping at this point. But it doesn't mean that they're not still doing it because right now it's still a shortage of drivers for mega carriers, so they'll kind of take whoever they can that's qualified. Um, to kind of defend both of y'all points on that. It's a
I
sticky
mean,
situation, honestly.
it's always gonna be, again, what part of trucking people really want to come in and how serious they're gonna take it. You see what I'm saying? So if you're just coming into trucking because you're in a money grab, you might make some money here and there, but it's not gonna last because it's just so many pieces put together to make trucking really what you want it to be and be successful in it. It's just it always changing. The weather change, the people change. You're talking about different state with different rules, different DOT officer. You might get pulled over in Alabama, he's cool, but in Arkansas, he's an asshole. You get what I'm saying? The
Yeah,
Tennessee might give you a warning about something, but guess what? Texas give you a ticket for the same thing. It's just so you're dealing with different personality, different attitude. It's a whole different thing. So when you come out here, the reason why a lot of people complain so much and don't last out here is because they don't understand the different parts that put together that make you a successful OTR driver. I understand it. I don't curse brokers out. I don't get into these people's face and argue with these people at these warehouses, but people do. You see what
yeah,
I'm saying? I don't pull up at Amazon and curse the intercom guy out because listen, I'm here to make that, and I always said this. That $2,500 I'm picking up, that gonna make me be $9,000. I'm not gonna let nothing interrupt that. You see what I'm saying? It just depends on where you want to go, and that's what I'm saying. In trucking, you really have to understand what part of trucking you come in and how you take it serious. You see what I'm saying? Same
I,
thing with a lot of these local drivers.
yeah. I was gonna say, I
You
think
might
for
get
OTR though, your mind got to kind of be built different versus your body being built for it, because it's a lot of mental stress, anxiety, being away from your family, being away from. I don't have kids, but your kids that I
Mhm.
don't think you can really explain unless you kind of been through it. You know, sleeping at truck stops for a few years or just being in and out of hotels. Kirk, I know you can speak on this because you've been doing it for so long.
I take my kids. Well, I take my kids on the journey.
Well,
My
yeah, that
kids see what I
some
do.
guys do that. But think of the guys who
Right.
may not
So
even be. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, go ahead.
no, so let me explain that. I take my wife and my kids on the journey with me. Mark
Hmm.
met my wife and kids. We were in Chicago with the truck. You get what I'm saying? So I think when it comes on to the family aspect of trucking or the wife, my wife can't be without me. I think that once and this is just my opinion. Some people can, some people can't. But I think if you're gonna start a business, your partner have to understand, just like you, what y'all getting into,
Yeah.
because there are so many people that get excited to start business as a couple, but then turns around can't even stand each other because they can't dispatch a truck on their own because they get into these fights and argument. You see what I'm saying? On the kids part, I take my kids on truck ride with me, whether I'm local or I decide to bring them OTR. Why? Is because once I leave, they already have an idea of what I'm out here doing. I give them that experience. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of the time when people, can't do it or can't stay out here or it just doesn't work for them, like I said, it's just multiple different reasons. You get what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
yeah, I do take them out and let them have an idea what daddy do when he's not home. You see what I'm saying? And then now, and I'm gonna say this: no, it should be. And I'm not saying it's easier, but we are in an era now where technology, my kids can see me.
Mm.
We can video call. I can show them where I'm at. I can talk to my wife, and so it's I still
That's a little
don't
different.
get why some people are so hung up on not being around their partner, and when there's so many things now that let us even feel like we're next to each other, but we're really not next to each other. You see what I'm saying? That's just my opinion.
Well, we're social people with different senses. So I know you can see, hear me, but it's something about physical touch. You do want to feel your girl sometimes. You know what I mean? You want to hug and kiss your kids. So I don't think a lot of people that's what I'm saying, have that mentality for that delayed gratifications that you have by making the type of money you do. So they would kind of sacrifice that high earning potential in order to see their kids every night, even if that means busting up their back and pause, but and doing the harder work that it takes to be local. I think they both have their strengths and weaknesses.
Hmm.
Yeah, I disagree with both of y'all. I just been
Think
listening to
so.
y'all talk. Yeah,
What's up,
yeah,
Mark? Go
yeah.
in.
No, I ain't gonna go in because I just disagree. You know, I think that local is way more sustainable than OTR. It's a lot more profitable too. A
Yeah.
lot more profitable. And then you get into certain niches like moving. It's
Hmm.
not even. You can't even compare.
What's the volume of like
But no,
competition
but wait,
moving?
but stop, but see, no, because here's the thing, Mark.
Can't compare, Kurt.
And
You
I'm not,
cannot compare. You
and
can't
I'm not,
compare.
no, I'm not talking about, when you talk about local versus OTR,
Mm-hmm.
you got to understand that moving is a specialty
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
part of trucking, correct? Because
Yeah,
you
most
just
spec.
said, you just said, and I know this,
Okay. Yeah.
you got to train people not only to
Mm-hmm.
move their furniture, but you got to train
Cargo
people how
plane.
to talk to people. You
Mm-hmm.
got to train people how to talk to people. You got to
Mm-hmm.
train people how to look around certain people.
Right.
So there are things that there's certain training intel.
Right.
OTR, local, right? You're 100% correct. It's going to be more profitable because the harder the work, the more fine tuned and more professional you get at what you're doing, the rate is higher. You see what I'm saying? This is why back in the days, truckers was one of the most respected uh, um, um, career to have, because truckers was respected back then, and the whole shebang. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But when you talk about local work, not moving, you're
That's
right.
local. That's local. It's
Yeah,
local.
but
It's
there's
specialized,
but
and but you can
that's
do
a specialty part of local.
it's special.
Exactly. But
It's
Mark, not
specialty in
everybody's
OTR
gonna
too.
do it.
But they want that bag though. See that? Now let's talk.
But see,
Everybody want the
okay,
bag, but they don't
okay,
want to do the work. So you do the easy work.
you're
You're
right,
gonna get an easy
exactly,
bag. You want to do the hard work. You're gonna get that heavier bag. Okay,
right.
What
you
would you
want a
See,
do?
heavy
What would you
bag.
do starting at 45, Mark?
Listen. That's a
You know what I'm
different
saying?
conversation. See, that's one of them conversations you trying to set me up where I'm finna upset people at 45. Because
No,
then
but
I'm gonna ask
see,
the question. Hold on, because I'm gonna ask a question, and some people gonna
mhm,
take offense to it. I don't want to do that this show. That's a
Yeah.
show where I gotta be mentally. Listen, I'm finna piss
Yeah,
some
locked
folks
in.
off, and I ain't
mhm.
locked in right now.
I
Because I'm
got you.
gonna
I
ask
got
you a question. Why we starting at 45? What was
you.
you
Right.
doing the last? What you doing the last 20 years? What's been going on the last 20 years? See, because somebody gonna look at it like, I don't want to
Yeah.
have that conversation. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's
I'm
one
just
of the
going based on the
conversations where
analytics.
I gotta be mentally prepared for it. I gotta be ready. I don't want
Yeah.
to have that conversation.
I mean, to
So
me personally, it's gonna be personal preference. Whatever, some people, it's just personal preference. If they like OTR, they're gonna do OTR. If they
but
like,
but but
if they
but we
like
ain't talking about
local, they're
personal
gonna do
preference.
it.
He talking about being
We
sustainable.
talking about sustainable, and y'all wanted to add in profitability. So I think
Mhm,
local. Now we can go in because it's a few different things. You can go like local from a curbside perspective, palletized freight, dropping it off at the curb or
mhm,
dock to dock. You can go um, uh, 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 big and bulky white glove, final mile,
mhm,
and then we can go specialized. We could go moving. Uh, I think from a uh, um, I think all three perspectives is better than going OTR. I think it'll be easier for me to sell a guy to come to work for me from a local
mhm,
perspective, a solo one man, 10, 12, 13 stops a day,
Shit.
palletized freight, right? I don't have to worry about mentally finessing them to go over the road and lie to him and tell him I'm gonna bring him home every 3, 4 weeks, knowing I really don't want him to do it to come home. I need him out. You know what I'm saying? I think it'll be an easier sale, right? Now, from that perspective. Now, from the big and bulky perspective, it's an easier sale because I got more margin to play with. So I'm gonna sell them because I can pay them handsomely. Because I'm gonna do what's in my best interest initially, setting up my business where I'm gonna keep my costs low because I understand what I'm doing, and I'm gonna pay them handsomely. I
Yeah. I
understand I'm
think
gonna
it.
make my money at scale.
Yeah, it makes
Now,
money at scale. But as a driver, banging up your
mhm.
body versus banging up your
uh-huh.
equipment, do people really want to do it?
This why we gonna pay them handsomely. See, we gonna we gonna mask that with the
Hmm.
pay. See, it's all about how you gonna sell. You got to be able to sell it. I'm
Yeah.
telling you how to sell it. With the moving, easier sale. Why? I don't have no middleman. I don't got no 3PL. I'm making 100% of the revenue, and everything that I sell to the customer is at a markup. I'm making money off the labor. I'm making money off the materials. I'm making money off the truck. So I can pay even more handsomely, and then I sell them on the tips. So they already making a couple $100s off the labor, and each person getting somewhere between, on average, $20 to $50 a move per person.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So that could turn into another 100, 150, $200 a day, depending on the clientele, how many moves, so on and so forth. What a person is going to earn in an 8-hour day, a mover is making that just off tips. You see what I'm saying? So I'm
Yeah.
selling it. I'm selling it. It's hard work, but a guy making $300-400 a day.
See, and that's what
You
I
see what
was
I'm
saying.
saying?
Like you're still coming from the perspective of it because you did it at scale as a business owner. But if somebody has one truck, they're the owner operator, and they're doing all the hard work. Which one do they want to do in this market at 40, 45? The average.
Why they got to be at 45? Why you using that
Like that's
age?
that's the average. 35 to 45 is the main demographic watching YouTube.
No, it's not.
That's my
My
demographic.
my That's
My
your demographic.
60%. Yeah.
My 60%, 30% is 25 to 34. Another 30% is 35 to 45 for my channel. So 60% is 25 to 45.
Okay.
So I still got 30%, 25. So for a 45-year-old individual, obviously I'm going to tell them about how labor intensive it is. And if you watch my content, it's damn near like I'm trying to scare you. And technically I am, because it's that serious. So I want you to know how intense it can get. Every day is going to be different. Every job is going to be different. And every single setting, obstacle is going to present challenges, right? So I'm going to let that 45-year-old individual know that. And I'll probably push them towards maybe a curbside, which is now is hard to get into. You see what I'm saying? Now that 25-year-old through 34, I started at 30. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna push them more in the direction of the more labor intensive work, because they're younger, they can handle it, and
I agree with that.
it's a bigger payout. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type of person, I'm not gonna shy away from hard work. Me personally, I want to go where the bag is, because the exit will be quicker. You see what I'm saying?
Can I add
Versus,
to that point too?
Go ahead.
The guy who's 25 to 30 may have a family that's in-house, whereas the guy who's pushing 40, 45 may already have a kid in high school, don't really have any babies running around, most of them, at least at this age. So they probably wouldn't mind going out how Kirk does. I think he has somewhat younger kids. That doesn't really matter, but I think that can kind of add some type of clarity to the
Not
situation.
necessarily.
I don't think so.
You
No,
don't think
not
so?
necessarily, because
No.
have a kid is a kid. The
True.
attachment to a kid is the attachment to your child. I think it all boils down to your mindset and just what part of trucking you wanna do. You see what I'm saying? Um, I like OTR because for me it's a less of everything, and I control everything. I know why most of those guys don't come out here and stay out here and complain a lot is because they don't control everything. You see what I'm saying? I book my own load, I make my own schedule. I leave Saturday, I can be back home by Friday. You see what I'm saying? Not everybody have that option, or they have that, like somebody said they're out here 3 weeks now. You see what I'm saying? So, and I can come out here, make that money and go back home, and I'm okay. But guys who are not like that, then yeah, I see what Mark is saying. It's better you stay local, because you coming out here, it's not going to be profitable. You're ripping up the equipment, you're bursting the tire, all the shit that comes with the OTR issue. Where if you stay local, it's going to be better, more profitable, less gas, less toll, less wear and tear. You sleep home every night. You see what I'm saying? And your profit margin, is up.
And what Paul is saying, that's what I was finna get to. It's a bigger elephant in the room, Boobay. See, a lot of
OTR
these
is the
guys,
DNA test.
a lot of these guys, because we dealing with social media. See, trucking is a little bit different now than it was 20, 30 years ago. A person could take their old lady on the road, where you still see a lot of these good old boys from back in the day that's still trucking. You'll see them, they old lady in the truck with them, the good old boys, right? Now, this new generation that's OTR, they old ladies ain't coming out on the road. They not finna sit in that. This way you get upset. They not finna sit in that funky ass truck. We talking about a box truck. Where they going? See, they not finna do that. Let's keep it a buck. And then we got social media, like, and these guys is worried. These guys is worried. You see what I'm saying? Like, they worry. I've had people call
Yeah,
up on the call-in
see,
show. They
no,
gotta get back home to Boo Bay.
Yeah, but that's stupidness, because you ain't got to be a trucker for your wife to cheat on you, or your girl to cheat on you. Trucking has nothing to do with cheating. You see what I'm saying?
But it makes it easier. It makes it easier because you away.
No,
It makes it easier because you away. Yeah, dude.
no.
Yeah, dude. Kurt,
Bro,
if you
Mark,
man, I
Mark,
can't use you as
Mark,
example
Mark,
because you
Mark,
married. I can't use you as
Mark,
example because
Mark,
you married.
Mark,
But let's say somebody out there
Mark,
married, or they got a chick
man, listen,
and they
man.
away, and I
Bro,
know the chick is away, and he a trucker.
Mark,
Where he at?
you go right down. You
He in
think a
Texas right
woman,
now. Show me his
hold on a minute,
location. Listen, you got
hold on a
time.
minute.
You got time, Kurt. It
You
ain't nothing
think,
you can do about it because you in Texas. You can't do
Mark,
nothing.
you think a woman need you to be in Texas to give away anything?
No, I hear what you saying, but you gotta
You
understand,
really
Kurt.
believe that?
Kurt, you an
You go right.
older guy.
You have a
You an
meeting
older
tomorrow
guy.
morning, 8 o'clock.
Kurt,
Listen to me, Mark, Mark, Mark. You have a meeting 8 o'clock to go talk about a contract. 12 o'clock tomorrow. Your meeting gonna be for 3 hours. She only need an hour. Cause
Kurt,
she right here. She
Need 10 minutes.
I agree with you. I'm
You
agreeing
see
with
what
you,
I'm saying?
but you gotta
So
understand.
this,
You gotta understand.
I
It's a
know what you're
different
saying.
dynamic. It's a different dynamic. We've
I
seen guys that
understand
have
what
turned
you're
the truck
saying.
around and deadheaded all the way back with a load
That's
because
them,
Boo Bay
right?
wasn't picking up the phone.
Because they're
All right.
weak. Because they're
No.
weak, guys.
All right.
You see what I'm saying? She
Call it
don't
what
need
it
you to be
say
in
what it
Texas.
is.
All she need you
What
to
it
say
is.
is you gonna have a meeting. Mark, you come on, Mark. You remember them contract you used to go talk to them boys, them people to get Mark? Take you about
Okay.
3-4 hours, right, Mark?
Okay.
You were in Chicago, right?
Okay.
Baby was up the block, right? You ain't need to be
But
down in Texas or nowhere.
But what I'm saying is that gives them more opportunity. See, the thing, which here's the thing, I agree with you, but the difference is when that chick that we talking about knows that they guys in town and he lurking, they ain't got much time. When they know Boo Bay on the road and he in the middle of nowhere at a truck stop, they just got off the FaceTime with him. You see what I'm saying? He at the truck stop, and then they rush him to bed. They ain't got to worry about him pulling up in the middle of the night. They can throw that ass in a circle all night long, comfortably. You see what I'm saying?
Understand.
A cheater gonna cheat though, Mark.
See, that's the thing. No, I get that.
But see,
you
it goes back.
you
Wait,
trying to.
it
I'm
goes
on
back
your
to what
side.
you're saying
You got to
early
tell it
on.
to these shorties. They the ones
No,
turning
I know.
around and
No,
deadheading back
I'm
with a
telling
load
them.
that's
No,
going
I'm
in the
telling
opposite
them.
direction. We done seen it come up. Mark, she didn't answer the phone for me. You tell that shit to them. I'm straight.
No,
Y'all don't want to be honest with
listen,
these guys.
listen,
Y'all got to start being honest with these guys, Kurt. Stop. Be honest with them.
and I remember you talked to a guy who told you that he was in Connecticut and his girl drove 2 hours to come and see him.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
Tweaking.
So I know what you're saying. What I'm saying to them new dudes, she ain't this young generation. Realistically, a woman don't need it to be in Texas. She don't need it to be anywhere.
We know that.
All
Kurt.
she needs is that time. But they're thinking that if she's, you know what I mean, like, you know what I mean?
We ain't talking about from the woman perspective. We talking about from the mentality of a lot of these guys that's coming out here on the road.
I know.
You feel what I'm saying? So, they worried about what's going on. And I tell them all the time, yeah, it's a 99% chance she is cheating on you, your goof eye. It's 99%. You ain't there. You not there. She cheating on you. Look at Mike. Look at Mike.
I feel like that. I feel like that's what you're selling. No, I feel like that's what you're gonna sell. You're gonna sell to the local driver to tell.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, now you get it. Now you get it. You gotta sell it to him.
You ain't got nothing to worry about it though.
Exactly. See, now you learning, Mike. You getting it. You getting it. You getting it.
Yeah, it's
you get it.
It is what it is. But what are you gonna do? Can't do nothing.
Yeah. See, now a real hustler ain't gonna worry about that. See, a real hustler, they gonna put that money first. They ain't gonna worry about what Boo Bay doing. I ain't finna turn no truck around and deadhead. Cause she didn't answer the phone. She cut it off on me. Listen, he knew it was bogus because she rushed him to sleep. She ain't never rushed him to sleep before.
And the reason why is because and the reason why is because you're gonna have so much money that it's gonna be easy to replace that woman. So you don't worry about it. You see what I'm saying?
What you talking about here? Paying to
Did
play?
you say money to replace the woman?
You talking about some pay to play? What you talking about?
No, I'm saying no. I'm just saying. Here you go with this
Your
bullshit
wife
pay
is
to play.
watching.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying if you're financially putting your money, where your money need to be, you're not going to be chasing down women. You're not going to be chasing like what you're saying. You know, what they call it, low self esteem or worrying about a woman or whatever the hell it is. You're not going to be worried about that. You know what I mean?
Uh, yeah, I
You're
get
not
Gotcha.
that.
going to be worried about that.
Yeah,
I
yeah, I
think you're
get that.
giving good,
You know?
inspiring advice to, keep your head up, regardless if she's doing it or not. I can
Yeah,
respect it.
I mean,
y'all.
a woman going to cheat on you. Listen, I think this is and I would love us to talk about this because this is one of the part of trucking a lot of people don't talk about, and for some reason, people sort of talk about it.
Cheating?
No, the whole yeah, we need to have a discussion about guys who are out here not only cheating but having these kids out here, all the shit that guys out here doing, the stuff that their women back home doing, the money that they're giving some of these girls on the side, paying for cars, apartment, paying their bills, their truck engine light on. They're not taking care of their own business responsibility. I think we need to talk about it because everybody likes to run away from that conversation. And
Mm.
it would be a good conversation to have where we can talk about stuff like that because this it happened. Let's not play around. There are guys out here that got 3, 4 baby mama and have a wife home. Let's be real. You see
Yeah,
what I'm saying? There's guys out here that got no, but what I'm
I
saying,
know.
we
I
do
know.
need to go there and talk about it because everybody likes to run away from. You know what I'm saying, Mark? It's like, whoa, woman, and
We can.
everybody's looking at the guy,
I have all the hard
but we need
conversations.
to, right? Yeah, we do need to sit and talk about it because it happened. It happened, and people not willing to open up and have the conversation because one, they're hiding something, and two, they just don't want to face reality, and three, they don't want to deal with the consequences that they're gonna be held once those conversations get out here. You see what I'm saying? But
Have
there's
we had?
guys out here that got two baby mama. You got two baby mama. Plus, you live with your girl at home. You got you might not have no baby mama, but you got a girl. You paying her car note. You paying for the apartment. You paying for all this shit, and that's why when you come home, you ain't got no money. And that's why when your first two baby mama asks you for money, you ain't got none because you got two other girls over the road that you
Now,
got
is
to
this
be
supposed to
taking
be?
care of.
This is what Mark would call robbing from the sustainability from your business. Is it more about that, or are we talking about
Exactly,
a call
exactly.
in show about getting cheated on? Like, which one of those are we talking about?
That type of content
No,
you
we
need to
can
save
talk
for
about it.
like
Otherwise,
a a red pill. Because here's the thing:
Fresh and
if a
fit.
person want to trick off, right? If you want to trick off your money to multiple different women while you building a business, then
remember Midwest said it to you one time. Midwest came on your
what?
live and he said, Mark, a lot of these guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of these guys, the reason why they ain't got no money is because they be chasing that bra. He ain't lying.
I
Remember he
mean,
said that,
that's
and
been
he said,
going on. That's been going on
and
forever.
he
So
said,
I mean,
Those.
but we need to talk about it though. That's what I'm saying. We need to have a
why?
conversation about
Why
it.
do we need to talk about? Why do we need to
There
talk
you
about
go. That's
men that
why
want to
most of
trick off
those
their money? Listen, no, we
no,
need them to
no,
trick their money off. We want them
no.
to
Wait,
trick
wait,
their
wait.
money off.
Stop right there.
Let them
Stop
trick.
right there. Wait,
Listen,
stop
if
right there,
if
Mark.
they want to be
Wait, Mark.
suckers, let them be suckers.
Mark, those are
Why I
some
want
of the
to?
same guy. Mark, those are some of the same guy mad at you being home. And that's
Mm.
what I'm saying. It's a
Thank
lot
you
of
for proving my
attitude.
point. They suckers. They tricking their money off. They tricking their money off. And when I was around here single, guess what? I ended this. I ended this. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen.
Hey,
So it
let's
is what
end
it
the show,
is.
man, because I don't want to start you back up.
Listen.
I don't want to start you
listen.
back up.
No, you just proved the point. They worried about somebody else that's at home while they tricking their money off, right? And the money they tricking off, she spending it on the next guy. Why I want to talk about them for? Why I want to talk
That's
about
why they don't
them?
like. That's why they don't like you, Mark.
No, that's a small percentage. Cause see, y'all got something in common. I ain't got nothing in common with they suck ass. They suckers to me. You got something in common with them. You telling on yourself. Listen, Kirk telling on himself. He telling on himself without telling on himself.
Oh shit!
Why we want to sit up here and talk about some suckers? I don't want to talk about no sucker. That's tricking their money off, running over the road to trick it off. And then you saying that these the guys that's talking about me sitting in the crib because they broke. They tricking their money off on the bro. They tricking it off on the bros.
Hey,
they
Mike,
need to get the one chick. They need to get the one chick. You started.
I ain't starting them, dog.
Yeah.
You trying to add a Pookie and Ray Ray segment?
Hey, Mike, that's why they don't like this guy, man. Because they blow the money and then they see him home every night.
I see what Kurt's saying, though.
You do?
No, I'm talking about him saying that one scenario.
Hey, listen. Having a good budget as a trucker will give you any lifestyle. And I'm going to leave it at that. Everything got to be a budget.
A budget?
Look at Mark.
Oh, hell no. Y'all budgeting in the lot lizards in y'all cost per mile? Y'all calculating the lot lizards in y'all cost per mile?
That Kirky fresh, man.
That's what y'all on? Y'all calculating the lot lizards in y'all cost per mile. Is that part of your fixed or is that fixed or is that variable?
It's probably variable.
Them boys that go broke and don't like you, they never put the budget together.
No, yeah. You
might need to think offline.
Yeah. Kirkland can't. It's your first day back. You.
Oh shoot!
You know what we talking about? You calculating the lot lizards into the CPM?
You have to.
All right, we need to end on that note.
Yeah.
Oh man. Man.
I hope you calculating in the urgent care. You calculating the urgent care bill in too? Straight up, because we know a lot of these guys ain't got health insurance.
We're burning.
Hey, what you gonna do when you catch it over the road? And we talking about the itchy and scratchy show. You ride down the road.
You gonna wash it off at the truck stop, Mark?
What you gonna go to the neighborhood truck stop? They got some rims, some lice remover. Hey man, get off my phone, bro. Get off my live. Get off my internet. I gotta. Y'all
said the itchy and scratchy show.
Yeah, the itchy and scratchy show. Or they leaking. They gonna drive into the nearest town. Come on, bro. What you saying? You gotta calculate the urgent care in then too.
Oh man. You see why they don't like you, Mike? That's why they don't like this guy, man.
Because I told the truth. People don't like the truth. I just gotta keep it a buck. You don't like the truth, that's on you. See, you can't go wrong when you just keep it funky. Just keep it funky. If you like it or you don't like it, who cares? I don't care. All right. I think we can wrap it up there.
About 3 hours in. Didn't have to end on that note. Probably should have, but it's all good.
All right. What you want to say? What you want to say in part, Entre Mike? Because this is gonna be your last Monday, unless you want to come back for a while. Yeah.
Probably maybe sometime in April. But I gotta focus in this month for work real hard. I'm taking up the position for somebody right now, just for this month, and then I'll be back in full swing making content, in April. But if you guys need an insurance quote, of course, I'll drop that link in the description of this video. Other than that, I really ain't got nothing.
What was the link again? Text it to me real quick.
I can send it to you.
Text it to me.
Yeah,
Text
I'll
me. I'll put it in the chat real quick.
Let's
Put it in the chat
see.
real quick.
And where I put it? Hell, let Kurt do his outro. It might take me a minute to find it.
Yeah, Kurt, what's you got any final words?
No, man, that's it. Just just to recap on everything that we talk about, man. I just think people just need to do their research. You know what I mean? Figure out what part of trucking they want to come in. You know what I mean? And just decide if you want to do local or OTR, I guess. You know what I mean? I personally can't tell an individual what to do. I think that,
Sent to Mike.
I sent it to the chat. Well, to your text.
each his own.
Go ahead.
You want me to send it in the chat?
So
Yeah, put it in the chat because the text ain't coming up. But I hear you, Kurt. I hear you.
yeah.
Right.
So yeah, that's it, man. It was a great a great discussion, great conversation. I think, what I mean, kind of cleared a lot of stuff up.
So you back. We ain't got no more hiccups. You back focused.
Yeah.
Finished.
Yeah, we're gonna finish the season of the Wisemen.
Okay.
And also I wanna say, because I didn't realize you went live this morning talking about me 4 a.m.
I didn't go. It wasn't 4. No, it wasn't. It was late morning, early afternoon.
You never ever called me.
Because I didn't know I was gonna hop on. I seen the opportunity and I took it. I was sitting here laying in the bed.
So you went over on Midwest Channel and leave me.
I didn't leave you. I had to address some things, and I went over there and I addressed them. I don't need you to address my business. See, that's why y'all got held accountable last week, because y'all talking about my business. People talking about other men, so I had to get you together. I had to get him together. I got Costas together. I got everybody together. Because y'all over there running y'all mouth at 4 a.m. You married and you was at home.
What you, man? You the box truck police, man?
I ain't box truck police, bro. Just you could touch on topics, but when you putting your, you put my name and talking about my business and why I'm doing this and doing that, like, come on now, like we got. So I went over there and just had a conversation. And I didn't need you to do that. What I need you to handle my business for.
I didn't know you guys go live. I gotta watch it.
We didn't go live. He went live and I pulled up.
Kurt sounded jealous.
You
I know what next episode is.
Yeah,
was y'all upset? Like y'all was cursing? I still haven't get to watch it.
Well, Kurt, what you gotta understand is he was fine. It was a regular conversation. So my conversation with him and your conversation, we gonna handle our business a little bit different. We under the act. So it's a certain demonstration that we fall on under that, it goes beyond you, Kurt. You wouldn't understand this. So we was able to pull up and have a cordial conversation. And we had some understanding. We laughed at the end and cracked a joke.
Yeah, I was laughing too. Understand. Man, I really gotta watch this.
No. It was a joke that it was a joke that went over people's head. Running Warrior was there. He understood. You see what I'm saying? So, but I went over there. We had a conversation, and it ended on a good note. At the end of the day, all I want is peace. I want peace. It's better that way. You dig what I'm saying? People will let people create scenarios and put things in people's head to create that energy. I'm getting old, bro. I don't got time to be pulling up, putting Scully mask on and creating devious thumbnails and spending money on that shit. Like, if I don't have to, if we can all just get along, let's just get along. So now we just went over there and had a conversation.
What's
Yeah,
up?
I'm gonna watch it. I think me and you and Midwest probably the only live streamer now.
Yeah.
Uh, no, Entre Mike been creeping
I've
in
been
there.
doing one.
A-
I've been doing
After
one
my
every Sunday, but I've done two in the past 10 months. You know what I'm saying? So two lives back to back every Sunday. But I'm gonna try to get consistent every Sunday. Probably like either Sunday or Saturday. I ain't picked the day yet. But right now it's
Mhm.
been
yeah,
Sunday.
I'm gonna watch it and and and,
It's gonna
and
be more
see. Yeah,
boring though, more information based. I'll probably have Sage on. He's a freight broker, and we just gonna kind of be arguing topics in the future about freight broker transparency. Uh, the new implementation of truck stop, and if that's hurting or helping carriers. It's a little different of a discourse that he want to get into, but it'll be interesting. We'll see how it go.
so you're doing a different podcast?
Not a podcast, it's doing a live stream. Probably on Sundays, but as far as like through the week, if y'all do something on Sunday, I probably can tap in sometime. But the Mondays, I'm not doing any content during the week. Other than like shorts or maybe editing the long form content or something. But
Okay.
yeah, I'm trying to do a live
Yeah,
once a week on Sunday.
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna check that live stream out tonight. I'm gonna see what Mark be talking about. He probably go
Nothing.
over there and switch it up and beg like a baby.
No, I went over
Right?
there and had a conversation. Beg like what? And then what are you talking about, bro? I'm finna get out of here, bro. I'm tired. All right,
I'm
man.
gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it
Yeah.
later on. What
Yeah,
what you- what you gotta say?
I talked about you. We talked about you. We talked
What do you
about
say about
the
me?
we talked about everything that happened over the course of the last week. It all started with one video, which was
Hmm.
well, nah, y'all. That issue started before that. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. So, but I had a conversation, and that's what it was. So you
I'm gonna
know,
watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
yeah,
Midwest is a cool
everything.
guy though.
Oh, he a cool guy now.
He always been a cool guy. I
I,
don't.
I'll be there to
Listen.
watch
I
that
think
live though.
I think Midwest. You don't see it, Mike?
No, I said I want to see. I want to see if y'all end up doing one.
Who?
Who?
Are you talking about bringing him on as a
Mi-
guest on
Yeah,
this show?
Bring Midwest?
yeah,
That's up to Midwest.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's up to
Midwest.
Midwest.
Midwest is a cool guy. He always been a cool guy. I mean, I don't have a problem with him. I mean, I think when it comes down to me, I think that the extreme part of me people can't deal with. I just think that's what it is.
You
You know
can
what I
get up
mean?
there now.
So yeah.
We got one question that I'm gonna get out here. It's from it's a super chat. It's from
Mhm.
Costas. Um oh, there it is.
It says
Have you ever thought about dispatching?
I thought about I thought about it, but it's the thing is it goes back to what you're saying. If you're gonna be a dispatcher, you can't bring nobody from YouTube.
Mm.
You can't bring nobody from YouTube because the expectation is gonna be it's like the same thing as mentorship. People gonna expect them supposed to make a certain amount of money a week or their truck's supposed to move a certain way. But yeah, it's yeah. It, I think about it, but I wouldn't promote it on YouTube.
All right. All right. All right. All right. Costas, I think that was a setup question. That was a setup question.
I think Mike is the same thing with Mike. I would say for you.
Yeah, yeah. Because
And
I
I'm not
mean,
telling you what
somebody
to
could have
do,
a
but
terrible
I think the
NVR,
internet
yeah,
exactly,
and
exactly.
blame me
See
for
what I'm
giving
saying?
giving them a terrible ass quote, but it's only so much I can do with
Exactly.
your information. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right.
All right.
All right, guys. See y'all next week. Y'all hold on a second. All right, everybody. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Um, see y'all next week for another episode. Until next time, peace.
Peace.